Conscripted by a secret organization, a group of strangers is loaded into experimental metapods, hurtling their souls across dimensions and into unsuspecting avatars. With each trip across reality, these newly minted metapilots gain access to unique powers and abilities, slowly transforming them into true Masters of the Metaverse.
Hey everybody, it's Meta Monday!
Meta Monday! Clap, 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 clap.
Welcome to Masters of the Metaverse on the Zombie Orpheus channel here on Twitch. I am your GM and host, James Drum. Joining me at the table, I have Sean Franklin, Ethan Bougeot, and Christian Doyle.
Howdy.
I've got other people here too, but we'll get to that later. Tonight is going to be the finale for our Planet Metaverse Invasion arc.
That's right. How many episodes can we fit into just one episode? The answer is 2.
Old.
I'm going to say 4. I think we can get 4.
We only have 2 plans.
Please don't ask me to do that.
We'll swap out. I'll figure it out.
That'll be a 12-hour season finale.
Free ball it.
But yeah, we're going to be a little pressed for time, and unfortunately we have been given the order to shelter in place here in Washington State, so there's going to be a little difficulty and complications with our usual streaming, but don't fret, we will still be doing some form of game-based stream for Metaverse time slot in the following weeks.
Now you have to give a little backstory because when they watch this in the future, they won't know what you're talking about. So you have to tell them.
Well, thanks to Deadass the Gamer for subscribing again.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Ooh, what's that? Oh.
Live hype train. Go crazy.
Yes, we have been ordered to shelter in place because there's this terrible virus sweeping the entirety of the world, but you can look up that. If you're watching this in the future, just look it up. I'm sure it's in a history book somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this one won't be a footnote. Anyway, what is the Masters of the Metaverse? Why, it's only the most interactive live stream RPG on the planet.
Just that.
Only. I mean, not only do we have our store, which I can see some people have already contributed a little bit to. We'll hear their tips shortly here. But we also have lovely things like our Patreon polls that happen every single week. You guys want to know how you did this week? Do you? No?
Am I in twice?
Yes, you are actually in twice, but you weren't in twice in the Patreon poll. We'll get to that. Don't worry.
All right.
We'll start over here. Sean, you get plus 20 to your health and plus 2 to a roll to use this week.
I think that's the first time you haven't got absolutely gangbusters.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Ethan, you also get plus 20 to health and plus 2 to a roll this week.
It's okay, I beefed it too.
Christian, you get plus 20 health and plus 3 to a roll this week.
Yeah, it sounds like none of us are doing very... Oh, Helen's here.
And I get plus 20 health and plus 2 to a roll this week also.
Good.
Hey, and speaking of Patreon, I've got some special backers I want to thank. Eric Downs, thank you.
Eric, we love you, man. Thank you.
Joel Dietz, thank you.
Joel, even though we got in that fight last year in which you won, thank you.
Beats.
I got to hear that later. Jeremy Huber, thank you.
Dated my mom, still love him. Thanks, Jeremy.
Wow, you got a lot of history with our fans.
I make things up.
Oh, okay. That makes plenty of sense. Oh, and before we get into previously on Masters of the Metaverse, why don't we hear those tips? Oh,
Yeah.
Support your local metaverse. #MetaPoint #clarity.
Oh, thank you so much.
thank you, chat. Thank you,
What was
Hellcat.
that, James?
That is the lovely tipping voice from our robotic programmed person.
Oh, so you all heard that. Okay.
Yeah, that's not Tom. Tom's not nearly that.
Tom's not that cool. Let's be honest. But yeah, we're going to start with some moments of clarity in the store. Thank you very, very much for that. So previously on Masters of the Metaverse, Patrick, Thomas, John Stone, and Mac launched a colony ship into Mars orbit and used a powerful tractor beam to divert and launch themselves and the moon of Phobos towards Earth's moon of Luna in the metaverse of 742.
Moon fight.
They had the intention to use the object as a massive barrier against the arsenal of defenses employed by Trinity there to defend their central command center. Just halfway to the destination, massive portions of the speeding moon have already been destroyed or shattered away, with more and more firepower being brought to bear as the object closes towards its destination. Your ally, Quaid, has sent his men to some of the transport ships attached to the colony ship, awaiting the proper time to disembark. He has designated one of those transport ships for your use, with 4 others as decoys, laden with explosives and preset with collision courses to targets on Luna. As the miles rapidly click away, more and more of Phobos is destroyed. Plasma beams, particle beams, lasers, and even traditional warheads are eventually used by the thousands to impact the mighty moon until very little at all remains.
That's gonna have side effects.
As Quaid gives you the signal to disembark from the colony ship, very little of Phobos remains at all. Many of the defensive weapons are finally able to strike the colony ship as well, tearing it into pieces just as the transports separate, powered down amid the flood of debris to avoid detection. Tens of thousands of pieces of Phobos begin to hammer into Luna, which you finally get a good look at now, as all this large object is not blocking your view, and this transport ship has a much better view of things.
They cleared our view by destroying our shield.
Yes. The entire surface of Luna is covered in metal buildings, towers, interconnected and multi-layered. There's in fact not a single speck of the entire moon that you would recognize from your home. No gray rock or sand at all. It looks almost like a giant space station as opposed to a moon.
That's no moon.
It's a...
And then impact. Though many of the bits of Phobos are smaller than a human hand, some are as large as an automobile.
Oh.
Some form of barrier seems to repel the first few objects until more and more hit, and then this barrier flashes like a bright bloom of spider-webbed energy across it. Seemingly brought down, moments later the reign of destruction begins. Towers are shattered, buildings destroyed, as thousands of unstopped speeding objects pepper the surface of the moon with impacts at incredible velocity. The damage is catastrophic. Some areas are little more than wreckage, with only traces of the gleaming metal still visible. Artfully drifting between the maelstrom of hurling objects, you power up the transport. John, I have located Eli's signal on Luna. There is a docking bay relatively close to the coordinates. I am transmitting it to the ship's navigational systems now.
All right, and I'm pushing several buttons.
You would be piloting, Patrick.
That's right.
You are the only pilot here.
That is correct.
Good job.
Can I get a piloting roll from you, sir?
Yeah.
Come on, can you land this thing? My brother's down there. I gotta find
Oh, I
him.
can. By 4.
Excellent.
Aha.
Landing in the hangar indicated by Tom, it is nearly vacant. The resident engineers and emergency staff have obviously scrambled away to other parts of Luna to deal with the catastrophe.
Well, that's convenient.
Eli's signal is 900 meters away. I am attempting to access station schematics.
That's convenient.
Eli's signal is 900 meters away. Whoa.
Oh.
Access station. I'm hearing my voice twice.
That was Tom.
I knew that James liked to hear himself talk.
I actually hate.
I don't think it's that much.
I hate to
He
hear my
hates
own
the
voice.
sound of his own voice.
I despise it. I never watched the show because of it.
Think how we feel.
Yeah, I know.
I like your voice. I don't like your face, but your voice is alright.
I don't like either. That's why I don't
And
watch
yet
the
most
show.
of the show is just a close-up on his face.
And him
I
talking.
really don't like that.
I can't figure out why we don't have more viewers.
He's got a point. I'm surprised anybody watches this at all.
Well, Christian, as we learned in Project Metaverse, you're only 15% more attractive.
That's
so
right.
Be careful.
I know, and that 15 is slipping.
And
Oh,
It is
wow.
slipping.
let's be honest, that means he's not very attractive either.
Wow.
Aw.
Oh, I'm gonna stay out of this. This is too sad now.
Whatever, you're all super attractive.
Thanks, Maggie.
And you know it.
We have the luxury of ragging on
This isn't
ourselves, don't we?
Facebook, I don't care.
Let's keep it happy.
Disembarking from the transport, at that moment there is a thunderous roar of an explosion somewhere nearby.
I didn't do it.
Across the hangar, a set of doors flies outwards, followed by a huge trail of flames. Klaxons and alarms blare as a fire suppression system kicks on, and the cold, immediate pull of the vacuum of space tells you that this hangar is no longer secure. Scrambling across the deck, you barely reach a set of doors before they seal the hangar off behind you. Taking a second to get your bearings, Thomas staggers a little. I don't feel so good. And then he starts to say that he completely vanishes, leaving a trail of green motes where he was just standing, flickering lights. Thomas is gone.
What the hell?
Thomas. What? What's that? There goes our other computer guy. Arguably in the mid-range of usefulness as far as what we're doing.
Tom, what happened to Thomas?
He got the moon plague.
I cannot locate Thomas.
That's probably fine.
That either means he went home or he died.
Thomas
And-
is no longer in this metaverse.
Oh, see? Home, right? They can just go, right? Doesn't need a ship or something.
Do we know how? Do we know who took him?
Negative. I apologize, John. This was not a technological device.
What?
Space wizards?
Superpowers.
Superpowers.
Space wizard superpowers. You
All right.
and your fucking super.
An automated voice
You have superpowers.
goes through the PA system. Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Security teams respond to designated areas.
That's
Intruder alert.
That's probably us.
Yeah. All right.
There's like 200
But
other
just in
guys,
case it's not.
But it's, yeah,
We should keep an eye out for intruders.
it's true.
So we're in a hangar.
You have exited the hangar. It's sealed off behind you as it was opened to the vacuum of space by that explosion.
Okay. Well, correct. Not the
You are in
hangar,
a corridor.
now- Corridor. Okay. Corridor off the hangar.
Come on, Droney.
Approximately
Come
900 meters from Eli's location.
I've named him Tony the Droney.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Look, Patrick, I don't care about your bullshit right now. I gotta find my brother, all right?
Lead
How
on.
far down? Is he straight ahead? Where is he? Where's the schematic of this? Can you pull it up for me?
I'm still accessing the schematics. I am sorry, John. They have security protocols in place.
You look frustrated.
I am frustrated, okay? I gotta find my brother.
Well, we're here to help.
We know they're close. You said that earlier. So,
Few hundred meters, right?
yeah.
900 meters. This corridor is pointed in the general direction. I do not know if it is capable of accessing Eli's location.
The security's been alerted. Where are they?
Security is responding all across the station. There are numerous intruders. I believe Quaid's forces have deployed.
Oh, so it's not just us.
No, there's 200 other
Oh
guys.
no, it's justice, all right. And don't you forget.
Patrick.
Thank you. These are very trying
enough.
times, and
Fair enough.
we need to keep it light.
So what's ahead of us?
It's a corridor. As you follow the way down, you pass maintenance bays, storage areas, and even a mess hall, all completely devoid of occupants. The mess hall, you can still see some of the trays out with food on it. People obviously left in a hurry.
Do you guys want to?
Oh,
Do you guys want to try the moon food?
no.
Okay.
We're not here to eat. We're here to find a smaller cyborg, I assume.
We've been here for. All right, never mind.
Schematics accessed. Downloading them now. Following the schematics acquired by Tom, you pass through areas and enter a large chamber. There are floors above and below you, walkways that go across it at varying levels. There's at least 20 floors up and 20 floors down that you can see. A lift on each side of the extremely large room. From 2 floors up across the chamber, powered armor troops spill out onto a walkway and prepare to open fire upon you.
Oh.
On the far side of the chamber, one of the lifts open up and more powered armored troops disembark from the lift and also prepare to open fire upon you. Judging by the schematic, you need to make your way on one of these cross walkways entirely across this gigantic room to doors on the opposite side. Unfortunately, that will put you directly between the 2 sets of firing
Are
troops.
these powered armor troops wearing the power armor of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police?
They currently look like Mounties, yeah.
Oh, we got more Mounties.
You have a strong feeling that they aren't supposed to, though.
They aren't supposed
This
to.
place is so weird.
Well, even the real Mounties aren't supposed to look like that.
Hey, that's.
I'll take initiative rolls.
Have they seen? Oh, all right.
Oh, that's what we in the industry call dog ass. Excuse me. That
What
was,
industry exactly is that?
Any industry that I'm in.
Great.
I'll take it. What did you
So,
get there?
theater,
What is
carpentry,
exactly
and
dog
fuckboy.
ass, Mac?
Excuse me. I got a 8.
Okay.
Wow. Seriously?
Yeah.
John?
22.
Yeah.
Patrick?
20.
All right. We will start with John at a 22.
Okay. Describe again. So we got
There's about 20 floors up and 20 floors down. It's more than 400 meters in total width.
Oh.
Another 100 meters across. It's almost like an open area that connects numerous parts of the complex. 2 floors up on your left-hand side across one of the walkways, there are sets of powered armored troops. And then on your right, on the same level as you that have come out of a lift, there are more powered armored troops. They're using the...
Oh, so they know we're here.
Oh, very obviously. And
All right.
definitely look like they're going to start shooting.
Yeah, probably gonna start. shooting. I
Judging by the schematics you have from Tom, where you are headed is across one of these walkways that goes across this entire chamber to doors beyond on the other side. Unfortunately, you will have to do so under fire.
Oh, great. All right. What?
Do we have more steel panels on these walls that you can use as big shields while we run
What
off?
do you think I was gonna do?
Hey.
That's my next move. I'm looking for a panel to rip up.
Again, give me an athletics check for removing one of these pieces of steel paneling.
Go get him, Tiger.
Oh, well. Beat by 1.
Beat it by 1. All right, you are able to, with effort, pull away one of these large steel panels off of the floor.
Now, like just so we're on like a catwalk type thing?
It's more like, imagine you have the 20 floors up and down, and it's ringed by walkways, and then there are occasionally walkways that cross it, not necessarily straight across, some of them are at angles, so it allows the whole area to be interconnected.
So the guys are on our level. Where are they?
About 150 meters to your right on the walkway that rings it. It's like they're on one of the edges. You're more centralized. You're going to need to cross one of the paths that cuts through the dead middle of it.
So are they on the same?
The ones that came out of the lift are on the same level. The ones on your left-hand side are 2 floors up, aiming down.
Okay, dang. So one's on the same level. How many of them are there?
There are 12 on each side. It looks like there's a full squad on each side of you.
12, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And how wide is the corridor?
The pathway that goes across?
Yeah.
It's about 8 meters.
8 meters wide.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
They're pretty big.
Okay.
That's good, probably.
Unfortunately, the railing on the side is just railing. It's not full barriers, so there's not much in the name of cover.
Right. Exactly. And the panel ripped off. How big is it?
It's about 6 feet by 8 feet.
Okay. Let me ask you guys this: do you guys need some cover?
Yes.
They literally have the high ground all the way around us.
We're so squishy.
So, the panel I just ripped off,
Okay.
I'm going to
I'm too
Just
high to dodge lasers.
put it. I'm going to make it kind of like a lean-to so that they can duck behind it
Okay.
as much as they can for some manner of cover with my first attack.
Okay.
My second one, when I rip something off, is that the whole thing, or can I do something with it after I rip it off and still be in the same?
It could still be the same action. So
Cool.
you're pulling it off the ground
I'm gonna-
and shaping it is all a single action.
Cool. So I'm going to get another one.
Okay.
So one I ripped up, lean-to for them to duck behind for cover. Second one, I'm going to rip another one up, and I'm going to frisbee it at these guys down the hall there.
The ones on the level with you are the ones 2 floors up.
The ones on the level with me.
All right. Go ahead and give me one more athletics test, followed by a second athletics test for throwing it.
Oh, that was easy. So that one was beat by 11.
Beat it by 11. That is a critical success. You pull it, the second one free with one hand. Having that extra gap that you created with the first one gives you a lot more leverage. So
That's what it is.
makes it easy.
Oh, and then again, beats him by 13.
Beat it by 13. And a critical success throwing it at the group that is on the same level as you. And your frisbee shot is great. It actually bounces off of the wall behind them where the lift is, and then back forward and hits 3 of them in the back, sending them careening over the railing and falling 20 floors down to an unknown fate.
Oh,
Yeah. You bits,
back, elbow, shoulder. How many did I hit with that one?
3 taken off the railing.
Okay, cool.
That's nasty. Like, good job. I don't want to see that.
Patrick, you are up next with a 20 in addition to Tony the Droney.
All right. I am
question
going
on
to
their behalf.
split my action.
Okay.
I'm going to split Patrick's action.
Patrick is
rather,
splitting his action.
and let Tony the Droney take care of the other thing. But these ringed walkways
Yes.
are held by supports of some kind,
Oh, yeah.
whether those be vertical or otherwise. I'm going to take out 3 of them, 2 of them with my action, 1 of them with his, and we're just going to drop that sucker down on one side.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you doing it? I understand how Tony the Droney is doing it.
I'm doing it with good old-fashioned explosives.
Okay. I'll take demolitions then on all 3 checks.
Let's see, first one. 12, so I beat it by 6. 4. I beat it by 4, first one.
All
They
right.
sound the alarm bell. You hear it?
I do, in fact.
Second one,
It's all them intruders.
beat it by 2.
Okay.
And Tony the Droney needs to re-roll that one. Okay. That was a 1. So 6. He beat it by 10. Oh, 12. Either way. He got a critical.
And 12. The railing gives way. It slides at about a 45-degree angle, and 6 of them on that upper floor just go right over the top. They weren't prepared for it at all and fall 20 floors plus down, hitting things along the way. A couple of them make some interesting dents and break things along the way. But 6 of them were able to brace themselves against the railing and do not fall over.
Good.
Well, that's disgusting.
And I blow them a kiss.
Both groups open fire. The group using the higher ground is concentrating fire on Tony the Droney.
No!
That's mean.
Tony! No!
It's like your second child. After him.
Thank you.
Yeah, second
I
child.
need that
imagine he's a bit dodgier than I am.
He is pretty dodgy and pretty small,
zippy little baby boy.
but he's not behind a piece of barrier, which gives him a lot more cover. So, 3 consecutive plasma shots hit Tony the Droney.
Oh no, not plasma.
Yeah, and large chunks of him are completely burned away, and he hits the deck, motionless, next to you.
Can he do CPR?
It's alright. It's okay.
It's not okay.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
The ones on the same level with you are going to open fire on John Stone, who is also not behind cover. There are 9 of them firing at John.
It's gonna be bad.
Oh, John. Wait, didn't we already determine that their lasers pretty much don't hurt you?
They can do like
Oh, they can.
10 damage, I think.
They can.
They can, but often they do not.
Yeah, they're using plasma weapons, not lasers.
Oh, these guys got the big guns.
And 4 of them succeed on their rolls, and you have a dodge of 0, John, so they're going to hit you 4 times. Each one of those is a 40 damage armor piercing 20. So it ignores 20 points of armor and then deals its 40 damage after that.
What?
They're plasma weapons. They are devastating. You're going to get hurt, John.
Your mom is a plasma weapon.
Oh, snap. He knows about your mom.
Well, that makes one of us.
You see how you hurt him? You didn't even try.
So wait, so four hits.
4 hits. So each one do, well, what is your armor score, John?
Okay, so I got a plus 20 from the awesome.
So
chat
don't
people.
start it. Just tell me what your armor score is. What is your armor?
40.
40. So 20 points of each of those 40 damage is ignored. So 4 of them do 20 points damage each. So a total of 80 complete damage. Make sure to use your Patreon health first.
Don't die.
Wow, that hurt.
Plasma is much more devastating to your physical being than the laser weapons are.
How does it feel being covered in superheated matter? I imagine not good.
Oh, I thought you meant like, blood plasma. I was going to say it was gross.
Those weapons would suck.
Yeah, it's still kind of gross. Hemoglobin.
And the current state of affairs in the country, they would actually be really effective, though.
Yeah. Platelets, huh?
Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to make virus jokes. Oops.
Says who?
Can't be done, Merc. You made it so he can't be detonated.
It's true.
Tony is unexplodable.
It's true.
Very much so. Tony the Droney can't be blown up. He is, however, currently melted.
He can.
Is that
be
just
bent.
John Carpenter's
All right,
Super
Mac, you
Soaker?
are up next.
Get him! Get him,
I
Mac!
would like to, since we are in the hallway that
Space.
is, we're in space,
Okay.
for one. 2, we are in the hallway that is adjoining to this hangar, so I would like to go into one of those storage rooms that you mentioned and try to root around and see if I can find any casters so that we can make this cover mobile and just push across the bridge.
That's my boy.
You give me how about a mind-based roll? What do you have over there? Do you have notice?
I have...
Or tell me a skill. Tell me the skill you're using.
I would like to use focus because I'm looking for
I
something
will
very
accept
specific.
focus because you're
Thank
looking for
you.
something specific. Yeah, I'll take that.
And that is going to succeed by 7.
By 7. Excellently done. You are able to find, they aren't casters, they're actually little lifts. They have repulsors underneath them. So they don't roll along the ground, they just support something by forcing it up in the air.
Cool.
It hovers more than rolls.
You know, it'll work. Great. I have 1 action, so that's going to be me.
All right, we will get back to the top with John Stone at a 22.
So how many of them are left?
There are 6 on the upper floor and 9 on the floor equal with you.
Good grief. These guys.
They have some pretty nasty weapons.
Yeah, they do. What is the floor made out of?
Metal. Same as their armor.
Huh. Is it conductive metal?
Well, when you've hit powered armor troops with your static charge in the past, it has proven remarkably effective.
Yes.
But what it would do if you hit the floor, you're not sure. You can roll against your mind score or an advanced technology score if you would like to figure that out ahead of time before attempting the action. I will not count it as one of your attacks.
All right. Then I will do that then.
All right, roll against your advanced technology and see if you think that that would actually work.
I have a feeling what you're going to tell me, but that's all right, though. I ain't scared. Even.
That is a success if you equal to or less than the knowledge. You are fairly certain that if you tried to charge the flooring they're on, it would be very ineffective on the powered armor troops.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Panels. I like the panels.
You do like panels.
I like panels. So, I'm going to rip another one off. Excuse me.
Give me an athletics test for that.
Beat it by 7.
7. You easily rip that one free as well. You're running out of panels to grab, though.
That's all right. And should I bowl it or throw it? Should I frisbee it or bowl it?
I think the frisbee was a good call. I think you
Yeah.
should stick with the frisbee, just because, you know, there's only so many that we could get with the bowl, but the frisbee, you got a lot bigger range of motion.
Destructo disc!
Yeah, I'm gonna, let me think for a second. Make sure there's not something better I can do. How high is the ceiling?
And the entirety of it, that's more than 20 floors up
Oh,
before you
yes,
reach
right,
the top.
okay.
Yeah.
But this little part that we're in. So I'm gonna throw this first one. Yeah, I'm gonna throw another one at
At the upper floor or the same floor?
the guys that we're on level with.
Okay. The larger group of soldiers now.
Indeed,
All right.
yes.
Give me another athletics test for that throw.
Beat it by 8.
Beat it by 8. Again, you take 3 over the railing. This time it cuts through parts of their body and they kind of stagger and fall over the railing rather than bouncing off the wall behind them and knocking them over. And limbs are severed. And in one person's case, the head is taken off of their body by the thrown.
Oh,
Wow.
oh,
Yoicks.
You are very strong, John.
glad that I am not looking at that.
First attack made.
And I want another panel. Any more panels around?
You're going to have to move to do it.
The wall is made of
The
them.
wall is made of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was implying that I was running out of panels.
The floor.
In your immediate vicinity, yeah, you'll be moving away from the group to do so. But you can do so.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
So I'm gonna another one.
All right, give me another set of athletics
catching
checks
there.
if you're doing the same. I'm assuming you're doing the same action.
No.
Okay, well, give me the one athletics checks to pull 3 first, then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So beat that by 14.
Beat it by 14. Oh, you easily rip it free one-handed on this one.
And I'm gonna use it as a shield to hide behind
Ah,
whilst I yeah, it's only a single target. How many of them are left?
6 on the same floor as you and 6 above.
6. Dang.
Half of them have been eliminated so far.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I'm just gonna shoot one of the guys on my static charge to take another one out. But I'm gonna use the shield so I can have it for the next round so I don't get killed.
Against which group?
Online with us,
Okay.
same plane as us.
Blocking the ones in the same level and shooting at the ones at the same level with
Yes.
your static charge? All right, give me one shooting test.
Beat it by 5.
Beat it by 5. All right, you electrocute one of them inside of his suit,
Oh no.
killing him rather graphically. It's a good thing that powered armor disguises them from seeing.
Look
the
away,
results.
boy, for your innocence.
I got a bunch of little floaty boys.
Patrick, you're up. Tony the Droney is not capable of acting.
That's okay. Although I don't 100% agree. I think if he put his mind to it, Tony the Droney would be a fine actor. So, little electricity stun grenade
Ah.
that I am going to toss over to the group that is near Tony's fallen form, which should, if my calculations on fixing things are correct, which they now always are, that should be enough electricity to really jumpstart Tony into shooting an explosion directly at that same group.
All right,
And,
give me a pair
fixing
of demolitions rolls.
Okay.
In fact, this will require you only have 1 attack, right, Patrick?
I do, but I'm
Alright,
happy to split if
I need you to split your actions because you're going to need first a demolitions roll, then a power use roll, which you'll notice has been added to your sheet,
I didn't notice that.
Ooh.
followed by a demolitions roll for Tony the Droney.
Demolitions
The grenade toss is successful
by 5.
by 5.
Moment of clarity.
Moment of clarity
Yeah.
used for power use. Thank you, chat.
Nice. Rolled a 4, so I beat it by 10.
A critical success. Tony the Droney is most certainly jump-started by that use of your power. And then a demolitions roll for Tony the Droney, who will then fire at you.
I beat it by 2.
The grenade goes off and drops 2 of the remaining 5 as 3 of them scramble out of the way. 2 of them that scrambled out of the way got a little too close together and moved right towards Tony and right into the blast that he let out as soon as he jump started, leaving only 1 of them remaining on the same level as you. The single individual remaining on the level with yourselves is going to open fire. He is going to again shoot at Tony the Droney, who just blew up his 2 friends and is the closest available target.
Don't let Tony die again.
And he again successfully hits Tony the Droney, who once more hits the deck.
Oh. It's picking somebody your own size. Pick on a little drone.
The 6 from above
It's
are
terrible.
going to split evenly attacks, 2 and 2 and 2.
Cool. We do have cover though.
You do have cover. It's going to make their shots a little bit harder. In your case, the shots are close enough that they hit the panel itself, John, and half of it is melted away by the onslaught of fire. But
That's
you are
what a
not
dodge
struck.
bonus feels like for everyone else.
Oh. I got a little.
The panel is almost completely obliterated. That is protecting the two of you by the concentrated fire of the other 4 shots, but you are also not hit. Mac, you've got casters, but there's no longer a panel.
We broke the panel. Well, that's no good. I'm just gonna drop the casters in a pile, very frustrated. Get into position, going onto the side of something, and pull my go onto the side of the closest doorway, so I still have a line of sight theoretically into the big shaft, but I'm in cover.
Phrasing.
Yeah. Thanks. Reach
He meant
into
the thick shaft. Sorry.
yeah, the broad shaft. Reach into Krieger's bag of war crimes. Pull out my sweet child, the 50 caliber rifle, because I broke my laser gun last episode.
This is true.
And try and take aim at one of the ones up on the higher platform.
All right, give me a shooting test, please, Mac.
No, this is very bad.
How bad?
It's only failing by 6.
By 6.
That's bad.
It's pretty bad.
The 50 caliber is extraordinarily loud. It is much louder than these plasma weapons are. It echoes throughout the entire chamber. It is devastatingly loud. The bullet ricochets off the wall, ricochets off of another wall, and about 6 more times before finally lodging into one of the plates in the deck.
I want to deal with my bleeding ears. Have fun with the fight.
No one
Goodbye.
can hear what you said. No
John,
one can hear you, boy.
Top of the order, you're up.
All right. I want to, with the aid of Tom, find a frequency that they're communicating on, jam it so they can't communicate with each other and coordinate their attacks.
Give me an advanced technology roll, please.
Beat by 4.
All right, with a cooperative effort, you and Tom jam the immediate vicinity of communications frequencies.
Cool. So there's still one on
One
our
on the
level
wall
and
and 6 above.
below.
They're above. 2
Oh,
floors above.
Above, right.
They've got the high ground. You were able to catch a snippet of communications before you blocked it off that 4 more squads were about to deploy into the room.
Son of a.
Should get another panel.
4 squads. How big is a squad?
12 men.
So, all right. I see where this is going. Probably asked this before. How high up are the other guys?
There are 2 floors up, so about 20 feet and then 150 meters to your left. Quite a distance.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna rip another panel off.
Yes.
Now you think I'm gonna throw it at him? I'm not gonna throw it at him. I've already done that trick.
Right.
I've done it a couple times already.
I got the lifty things.
I'm gonna rip this panel off, and I'm gonna launch myself like a missile, holding this thing sideways, and I'm gonna ram into as many of these guys as I can with it, with the panel.
You're going to catapult yourself. Into the
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Ramming speed.
All right, give me an athletics check to tear the panel away, followed by an athletics check for the catapult.
Oh, athletics beat by 2.
All right, you rip away a large piece of paneling, another 6 foot by 8 foot section.
And the second one I beat by 7.
Beat by 7. You launch yourself to the air, and for a minute you think, I'm not going to make it. And in fact, if the railing was still straight from it being in its original position instead of blown over and at a 45-degree angle, you would have probably hit the railing, but instead you just barely clear it and impact one of them who's not able to move out of the way, cutting him almost completely in half against the far wall.
I got just one of them?
Just one.
But I beat it by... What?
Yeah, I used the difference of you succeeding that high to make a jump that you would not normally be able to make.
I can make that jump. I can make that jump.
You're carrying a big thing.
It's quite the distance.
Yeah.
All right. That is still, though, only a single attack from you. So you have landed among 5 of them. There were 6, but one of them is like technically, 6 and 7 since you cut him in half and not moving.
Well, okay. Good. But that was my hope to get on their level so I could just fight these guys. So now I'm gonna take it and swing it like as if I had like a big what do you call it? Like a claymore sword.
Okay.
Take this whole panel and just
Horrible. Give me a fighting check, John.
horrible. Why? Why is it horrible?
Hey, no, it's beautiful.
I think it's wonderful. Come on. Fighting check. Oh, beat it by 11.
Beat it by 11. That is a critical success. What is your traditional unarmed damage?
30.
Traditional is 30. You're using a improvised weapon, which will make it a 50. And because it's a critical success, that makes it 100 damage hit. They do have a significant amount of armor, but it is not nearly the 100 points that you deal in damage. And 3 of them you cut completely in half. The 4th you take a limb off of, and he collapses, leaving only 1 still standing.
All right.
Patrick.
There you go.
1 above, 1 on the equal level. And I don't know if John shared with you that there are 4 more squads about to deploy.
Oh, hey guys, 4 more squads, and the squad is like 12 dudes, so we have a lot of.
What?
Are you listening, kid? A lot of people. We got kin coming. Lots of them.
Look at this blood.
Meanwhile, I've picked up the casters off the floor.
Okay.
And I begin working on something. I am doing that for this round.
You give me a power use roll. I'm assuming you're using your newfound power.
No, because I'm not fixing anything. I'm just building something using my gadgeteer power.
Ah, gadgeteer power.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay. Patrick is building.
Using casters. And would you remind me one more time what once you pop, the fun don't stop does?
You already have on hand an explosive device, an improvised explosive device.
Thank you.
Basically makes it a no action action. Yes? All right. So what'd you build?
Well, I took those casters and I magnetized them, and I took basically a string of grenades, and I attached them to either ends of the casters like trains, like a train with the casters on either end. So they're all held together magnetically because they're metal grenades. And I put them on the rail so they can snake their way up to that upper level and drop off grenades at different areas. Those are proximity. So when the squads start coming in through the different doors, they get surprises as the doors open or as they walk past the grenades.
That makes no sense, but I'm in favor of it.
I love it so much.
I'm making a choo-choo train of grenades that is on magnetic ball bearings that are on the rails.
Sure.
All right. Thank you very much.
Boom train.
And then I'm making my way toward the door.
So crossing the
I'm
walkway?
Look,
Okay.
the only way we're getting through this is to gain ground,
That is probably an accurate assessment.
and I am gaining ground.
All right. It is to the remaining
And
single
even as little
individuals
behind
on
me as
each
possible.
side. Being as you just killed these 4 compatriots, the one closest to you attempts to shoot you at point blank range with the plasma gun.
Shouldn't you just run? Shouldn't you just be like, I'm done with this?
They're space nuts.
You've noticed that they never run
They never run.
or surrender.
Wow. Did I?
However, you have really thrown him off by killing 4 people in close proximity
Cutting off his arm.
and cutting off another one's arm, and he misses wildly even at point blank range, firing beyond your shoulder and into the wall behind you. I'm going to randomly designate the target that the other one
Can I also
chooses.
scoop up Tony on the way?
I'll let you scoop up Tony on the way. He's currently out of commission, but you do still have time.
Yeah, but I can fix stuff fast now, so.
The one on the level with yourselves has chosen to fire at you.
That's fine.
As you have moved out of cover, and his success is by 0. I think you have a dodge bonus, so that's
4, right?
You're
so.
moving too quick, even while deploying the grenade choo-choo train, and he misses.
And I'm just running it around like the what's the little BB-8 robots that you can.
Oh yeah.
So I'm using those on the casters.
Adorable. And we go to Mac.
Did you take all of the casters?
I took 2 of the casters.
Okay, I pictured 4
Yes.
based on how we would have
There
to
would have
land it.
been 4.
So I would like to also go to start taking ground, grab one of the casters, and set it so that the bipod on the giant rifle is floating on the caster so I can use it on the go without, falling over. And as I'm going to push to try and make ground, I'm going to take a shot at the one that is on the level with us.
Brilliantly done, Mac.
Big stupid gun.
It weighs almost nothing with the caster holding it up.
Remember, when lasers hit those panels, not much happens. But when bullets hit those panels, they bounce 6 times.
They do. However, I did succeed by 5.
By 5. That beats his dodge bonus. The heavy armor-piercing 50 caliber round hits him, and while smaller ballistic weapons have been fairly ineffective against that body armor, the 50 caliber round goes through the
50 cal
front.
BMG seems to do the trick.
Sorry, this is.
But
for
it doesn't
killing
come out
cars.
the backside of the armor.
That's-
However, the person inside of the armor collapses.
Does it bounce 6 times inside the armor?
More like twice.
Nerd.
Once to do it.
That's just mulch in there now. It starts leaking out of the bullet hole.
Yeah, it's pretty graphic.
Everything's so graphic. Look away, boy!
And then we will go back to John at the top.
Okay. So there's nobody else down there with them.
No, only the one on the level, and you're pretty sure that those other troops are going to be in this room in moments. Patrick and Mac are making their way across the walkway towards the doorway that you were originally
There's a
headed to.
mysterious-looking grenade drone coming towards you on the rails.
Yes, there was a grenade drone on the way.
Oh, so it hasn't gotten anywhere yet.
It's making its way around.
It's
But it's dropping grenades along the way.
intermittently.
This is Guggenheim rules. It's just a corkscrew.
Oh, so it's like the trolley from Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, except with grenades.
And it can go up the walls and stuff because it's magnetic.
Oh yeah.
Is it coming toward to kill the guy that's with me? Is that where it's going?
Nope. It seems to be going to all the entrances where these squads might be coming through.
Yep,
Okay.
It's dropping a grenade in front of every entrance. But you are in front of an entrance, so it's possible it might be.
So where?
But you are 2 floors up of them.
Okay.
There are
they're
2
floors
floors
beneath
down
me.
from you, and they are making their way across that walkway, which crosses the center of the room.
How far
out in the
away?
open.
So we 2 levels down from me, and how far away?
150 meters.
Oh, that's not far.
The same as you did before, except you'd be going down instead of
Cool.
up, so it might
So
be a little easier.
I grab this guy.
Probably
that's
worse if you screw it up, actually.
with me, and I jump over the side toward them, not caring so much if I land on this guy that I'm holding.
Give me an athletics test. And a fighting test first to grab him.
Your suspension is a man. Surely that's not ethical.
Athletics. Fighting. Excuse me.
Fighting first.
Beat that by 5.
Yeah, that beats his dodge. He tries to slip out of the way, but you grab hold of him quite solidly on the chest plate of his armor.
And then an athletics.
An athletics test on the jump.
15. Beat that by 5 as well.
Beat that by 5. You leap through the air, landing just in front of a running Patrick on top of this powered armor individual, and being as you weigh a significant amount, the walkway kind of crumples a little bit and bends from the impact. The armor that he's wearing crumples and bends a lot more, and the small gaps where the joints seal together, a lot of fluid of a red nature is pushed out of it.
Fluid of red nature. Interesting.
How
Is
multi is
that
it?
blood? Or
Yes.
is it just fluid?
It's
red
blood.
fluid. Oh, it's blood. Okay. Because that could have been a clue to something weird. Okay, very good.
It's boy gravy.
And so, ew. Okay. So how close are we to the exit to get out of here?
You are halfway across that walkway that you have landed on. And these two have just basically reached the same location as you, sprinting. You can
Okay.
you can feasibly make it all the way across.
Oh yeah. So I join them, maybe even grab them and pull them along so that we can get quicker.
All right, you begin sprinting across. Patrick, still sprinting across?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I
and
can
Mac,
get one up under each
absolutely.
arm.
also
and just-
sprinting.
But I'm using the classic zigzag pattern of the greatest wide receivers of American football.
Wonderful.
OJ
I
Zigzagging
have no
across
idea
the
what that
walkway.
looks like also.
As you're reaching the far side, many
My
of the
goodness.
doorways across several of the levels open up with squads running out. The first several squads run right into grenade explosions. They propel many of them over the railing, blow off sections of railing, but it's not nearly enough to take out the entire squad. Crossing the walkway, they're just piling out in the different locations above and below you. And right as you make it across the other side, the doorway explodes outwards in front of you. A hulking metal figure at a full run, so fast you can barely register what it is, spills out, slams into John Stone, and takes him completely over the railing, and the two plummet 20 floors.
Oh.
What?
John, no! Just as the two of you breach through that doorway that it came out of, you hear security lockdown, and a blast shield door slams down in place behind you. More doors in front of you on this corridor begin to start closing down. If you don't continue ahead at a very rapid pace, you will be sealed in this section of hallway.
We are continuing at a very rapid pace. Would you like an athletics roll of some
Yes,
kind?
I would like athletics rolls from both of you.
Moment of clarity.
Take it. No, take it.
Now, what's your athletics?
12.
Mine's 14. You take it.
I'll take the moment of clarity. Asha. I got 2 1s.
You can't do better than that.
I really can't.
I still beat mine by 8.
At a full sprint, Mac, who's slightly ahead of you, does kind of a jump motion and hangs onto the rifle that he has in front of him. It has the caster on it levitating and sort of hovers through these doorways as you're sprinting behind him that slam shut.
We'll have to go for the baseball slide, although I don't know how that looks either.
We should get more of these. We could make hoverboard.
You end in a circular chamber. It has multiple rooms attached to it. Science
fight.
labs in nature, filled with robotic-looking tech, computer systems, and more. And then a single blast rings out from your left. Patrick, you are struck in the back by some sort of a beam or a weapon. You feel your entire body overwhelmed with electricity and collapse to the ground, convulsing and spasming in horrible, horrible pain. A lone man in a jumpsuit strides out from the doorway from which he shot from, holding a strange-looking pistol. You cost me my pilot's license, you little prick. It's time for a little payback. So while you're lying on the floor, pissing yourself, pay careful attention, because I'm going to kill your little friend here, nice and slow while you watch.
Oh, jinkies.
Yeah, it'll go bad for you.
John Stone!
Real bad for you. Just talking.
Yeah! I'm down here!
Talking
Get back
shit
here.
does not work well on your taste, as it turns out.
So you son of a bitch.
I mean, I'll
carry this.
Patrick, I got it.
The impact is tremendous, John. It's whatever hit you sends you over the railing, falling 20 floors down to a devastating impact of 50 damage. 40 of that is absorbed by your armor, so you do take 10. And it leaves a massive dent in the middle flooring 20 floors down. Rolling to your feet, you square off with your attacker. Getting a good look at him or it is
Wait a
more
second.
appropriate.
Wait a second.
Standing nearly 7 feet tall and a body made of metal, much like that which is under your skin, glowing red eyes bore into you.
Was that actually a hug? Was that a
No,
flying
it was
hug?
not.
Oh. I thought maybe it was,
John, I've located Eli. He's inside that thing.
yeah.
A terrible roar of rage and pain echoes through the chamber, and the machine man charges forward, ready to kill. Initiative, John.
Machine, machine.
Initiative. Rolling the big die. Dice.
No, that's
Look
one.
on the opposite side.
That's
See if,
one?
Yeah, that's the
7.
one. Oh, they're not laid out normally, but that is the one.
That's a 1.
Yes,
Oh.
which is very good. No, it's very bad.
No,
You're
it's
rolling
very
initiative.
bad.
Excuse me. That's bad.
Yeah.
Other,
Okay.
it's good sometimes.
Good for some people.
My initiative is 7.
7. Well, you know, you were lucky today because mine was 5.
What? Oh, nice.
Yeah. I also rolled a great skill check, terrible initiative. You're gonna get to go first, John.
Okay, so it's trying to kill me.
Very, very intently trying to kill you.
Wow. So no negotiating with this thing either, huh? I guess trying to kill me.
It's definitely trying to kill you. I mean, it did hit you at a full run.
So it's trying to kill me. Okay, I'm gonna use my special ability to judge opponent to try to figure out what I can do, any weaknesses, any kind
Give me a
of
notice
thing
check.
to notice. Beat it by 12.
Beat it by 12. All right, you can find out a few things that. Give me 3 things you would like to know about this enemy.
I would like to know
Turn-ons?
any vulnerabilities
Vulnerabilities.
in its, you know,
Okay.
vulnerabilities.
Okay.
I'd like to know its connection with the pilot.
Okay.
And the mental.
This is not the happy reunion we wanted, but it is the unfortunate one we were all expecting. I hope that a hashtag John buff will help him get through to his brother before he has to do something he will regret.
Thank you. A personal one for me. I appreciate that.
You got a buff in the store now.
We all appreciate it.
So,
Yeah.
which buff is it?
Your buff is badass. Badass can be used to ignore all of the damage dealt to you for a single round.
Oh, okay. Doesn't mind.
Have you been hit this round?
Well, he hit me and collided with me. I didn't take a whole lot of damage from that, but
Wait till he goes Hoss on you, and then wait till the end of the round, and then use it.
yeah, that's what I'm figuring. Okay, so
So you want to know the vulnerabilities, connection with the pilot, and I need one more thing.
and I want to know, is what is the pilot's mental state? In other words,
Okay.
yeah, his mental state. There.
All right. Vulnerabilities. You believe that the armoring on that mechanical construct is at least equal with yours. The vulnerable points are probably like yourself, located in the joint areas. Because that is the least amount of protection.
Oh, my God!
Whoa! Stack the store up and down. Please help me sort it, Pax.
Oh,
wow.
Whoa! Thank you!
Yeah.
Oh.
You're an ace. You're an ace. You're a fantastic human.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank
You're
you.
a fantastic human.
Wow. Crap.
Take that, coronavirus. Yeah.
But that was enough to buy almost an entire roll of toilet paper.
I know. 2-ply at that.
That is lovely. All right, so the vulnerability you believe was probably be the joints, as that is the least amount of armor. The connection with the pilot, you believe that Eli is being used as some form of artificial intelligence in it, giving it a base level of intellect. And you believe that the mental state is currently rage and pain.
Huh. Okay.
If only we had an empath.
All right. First move. I'm going to try to body lock him, throw him down, and take his back. Because I don't want to hurt him / kill him. But if I'm going to attack his joints, I don't want him to be able to attack me back.
So you're going to attempt to restrain him.
Yes.
All right, I will take fighting for that. And if you wish to use both of your attacks to do it, you can keep the best result of those two.
Well, this one already beats me by 5, so that was That was good enough.
Okay, it's going to keep a success by 5 as your restraint roll. Gotcha. And look at that. There's a full store.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
Which includes a hack attack.
Store.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that would be. It would
One of everything.
be.
It's like my perfect pharmacy.
And Christian is a full store. What does that do?
Wait, what does that do? I don't remember.
So,
I should go look.
Well, I can't do the awesome thing that Merc did. But we need a waffle today so I can put us there. Hashtag MetaSurge.
All right, you've also
Thank
unlocked
you.
your boosted ability. If you have access to that on the bottom of your sheet now as well.
Extra boosted and a free meta point.
Everybody gets a free meta point, and yes, Mercury is extra boosted. So everyone has 2 uses of their boosted right now. And in your case, a meta point is a meta surge. So a +2 to any roll you make, or a -2 to any roll that you want to give somebody a -2 to their roll. You know, like if they're stabbing you, shooting you, or hurting you.
And that's a waffle.
And that is a waffle. Oh wow, that's going to be great. So you know, 2 boosted abilities. You have 2 boosted ability uses.
That's good. Mine is very good.
okay. So I've got him.
Yep,
Like,
you've got a success by 5 and a single action still left.
And we're laying the way I've got him so that he's on top of me, but I'm on his back behind him, so he can't really hit me. He's
so long as he is restrained, correct.
Yeah, we kind of turtling here. Now, I'm asking Tom. So since technology is similar, is there any way that I can interface with this thing or communicate with the pilot or anything like that?
I am attempting to do so already, John.
Okay. And I just say, Eli!
Trying to get his
Eli!
attention. Trying to break through
Eli
into his
Stone!
attention.
Eli Bartholomew Stone!
You struggle valiantly with him shouting and trying to get through to him. Any other attacks or actions before he acts?
I'm trying to think. What can I do? What can I do? Oh, was I able to find out if there are any, aside from joints, is there anything else that I can actually do to hurt him or to mobilize him that he's susceptible to?
The vulnerable points definitely seem to be the joints. There's not a whole lot on him that's vulnerable. Otherwise, much like yourself.
Oh, and is he inside the suit, or is he part of the suit like I'm part of this suit?
As far as you are aware, it
is
is
a pilot.
It is his essence, his soul, if you were, rather than his physical body was left behind in the Project Metaverse building when it was destroyed.
Oh,
He
so
was
he's
just
not
a being floating the metaverse, and you're not even sure how they could possibly be containing him, let alone containing him inside of a giant robotic construct.
So there's no human body in this suit.
There is only a mental state.
Oh, okay.
The body is not his. It's just a machine.
Okay. So this is so his essence. Okay, it's his essence in it. Okay. Okay, I'm holding restraining. How do you restrain? Oh, I see. I thought I would be hurting him if I attacked him, but he's not even in the thing. That was my bad. Okay.
If you don't want to restrain him, you could do something else, because that is my fault for not explaining it to you. Think quickly.
Okay. I'm gonna rip a panel. I want a panel.
You want to rip a panel up instead of restraining him?
Yes.
Okay, give me an athletics test for ripping up a piece of panel.
Oh, beat it by 7.
Beat it by 7. You easily pull free another panel.
And I'm going to try to lop his head off.
All right, going for a decapitation. Give me a fighting check as you swing the panel at him.
I hope you make a good decapitation check.
Say what now?
I hope you can make a recapitation check. In case you want to put it back on.
Well, he's not in there.
What do you got there?
Well, he is there.
No, he's not. This is Essence. It's not him. 11. Oh, I'm sorry. 11. Beat it 7.
Beat it by 7. With a solid impact, you hit the metal frame. Most of the panel bends upon impact, but you're able to shear away some of the protective metal surrounding the neck area, but his head is still firmly attached to his body. That's attack 1.
Fair. Cool. And so is he standing still? Or
Oh,
is he-
yeah.
Oh, wow. He's tough, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Another swipe, foreleg, right the hip joint.
Swinging for the hip joint. All right, give me another fighting check.
Leg joint's connected to.
Beat it by 2.
Beat it by 2. He, much like yourself, does not have a dodge bonus, so that is going to be successful. And again, much like the neck, it bends the panel more than anything else, but kind of cuts a little ways into the physical body of this machine. He responds by attempting to grab you and throw you against a wall forcibly. I will succeed on the fighting check by 10, so he has a critical success in grabbing hold of you.
Beat it by 10? What? All right, fine.
And then another athletics check to throw at you, which I also succeed this one by 13.
What?
So you are thrown against a wall. This is
Fine.
going to inflict 80 damage.
What? What?
He is significantly stronger than you.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Is he?
Oh, yes.
Why? That's not even fair. Okay, so I'm gonna take some.
You have 2 buffs in the store at the present moment.
Okay.
You
Right.
would take 40 damage from this unless you decide to do something. What do you got?
Am I fully charged right now?
You have access to 2 of your waffle abilities. So, yes, you could have it twice if you wish. And in your case, because yours is continuously active, it stacks up.
I'm sorry. Re-explain it.
You're fully charged since you have it twice. It stacks up. So add it together.
Oh wow! Get out. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So. Okay. So
Well, tell us what fully charged is, John, so that our
Fully
audience at home
charged.
knows.
So I have some boosted abilities when I'm fully charged. I have a 10 plus damage to all my physical attacks and 10
So
plus
you-
armor.
So you have 20 more points of armor because it's doubled, and 20 more points added to physical attacks. So you're currently at armor 60.
Yikes.
Ah.
So you would only take 20 damage from this hit.
Exactly. That's what that got.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a good way to be.
Okay. So he slammed me. Okay.
He threw you against a wall. It hurt, but you're fully charged, so it didn't hurt as bad as it normally would have.
Sure. Sure.
And in fact, fully charged, you are now his equal in strength.
Oh. How about that one, huh?
We're going to do one more round with you before we cut back to Patrick and Mac. So, at the beginning of the round, starts off with you again. What are you going to do? You have been thrown against the wall.
Tom, have you found anything out so far?
There are protective protocols in place. I am trying to bypass them.
Okay. Tom.
Don't die.
While you're looking, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. While you're looking, can you? Is there any type of energy, or actually, I don't need him to do that.
What have you got over there, John?
I want to find out if.
You're going to do another judge opponent?
Yeah, do that.
All right, give me a notice check.
Beat it by 9.
Beat it by 9. All right, that is not a critical success, so you get to pick one thing.
Okay.
Free one you can use on anything.
What do you want to know?
Is there anything in his system, his power system, that is the most vulnerable to electrical attacks? The most vulnerable part of it.
You believe if you hit him hard enough with enough electricity, much like yourself, it might stun him or prevent him from acting for a short period of time.
Okay, so I do that. Static charge is going to be, but I'm fully charged, so this should be a heck of a charge.
And I will also allow you to combine both attacks into a single status charge if you so choose to do so.
I will do that.
All right, give me one shooting test as a full blast of all the electricity that you can give him.
Beat it by 8.
Beat it by 8. Again, no dodge, so the electrical charge slams into him, and it will do 100 total electricity damage, which is enough to keep him stunned and slowed. So when we come back to you, next round you will get to go again as he has lost his turn for the round. Cutting to Patrick and Mac.
Hey.
The unidentified man strides across the floor, holding his weapon out. If you try to run, I'll just shoot you with this. He indicates, pointing at the gun, stepping closer to you and drawing a wicked-looking knife. This is gonna hurt, kid. A lot. Give me an initiative roll, please, Mac.
Sure that it is.
I also need one from you, even though you are still currently stunned.
Oof. That's woof. That's mighty bad. I have a 6.
6 for Mac. Patrick?
I got a 12.
12 for Patrick. All right.
How's life tased?
R17643 is going to go first. Viewers might remember him as Captain Donaldson in a previous episode.
Oh, that's why he's mad.
You guys might be mad.
He strides across the chamber, brandishing that wicked-looking knife, and he's going to stab you, Mac.
You didn't kill him?
I'm starting to get used to getting stabbed. This seems to keep happening.
What's your dodge over there, Mac?
2.
2. He does not anticipate you have any fighting skills at all. He expects you to act like a kid would. But Patrick has taught you some knife defense moves, and you're able to deflect that attack in a classic fashion, leaping away. And as another broad slash comes at your face that you also managed to duck under. But he is really good with this knife, and you're not sure that you're going to get lucky a second time.
Yep.
Patrick, it would be your turn. You are stunned, but there are options for you.
Yes, my central nervous system is a bit jarred right now with all the
Yes.
electricity, so I'm gonna fix that this round.
Give me a power use roll.
It's a good thing to have. To be
I'm just gonna repair that central nervous system.
Yeah.
It was fixed anything or anyone. That would include yourself.
Oh. No, if I will miss it. Except I'm going to use my Patreon bonus and absolutely hit that.
Yes.
You are no longer stunned. However, he has strode right past you and over you and is not paying attention to you at the present moment. Mac, you have a 6. You're going to be going next.
Great. Hey, Patrick, don't die. And I'm going to. You said this was a robotics lab, correct?
Yeah, looks like a robotics or an R&D lab. They got all kinds of stuff. But you're in like this central chamber. The labs are built around it. So you're going to have to get to one of those labs. He came out, the guy that shot you came out of one of these 3 connected labs.
Great.
You're kind of in a hub that connects all 3 of them.
Okay. I'm going to cliff it towards one and then make a covert operations check to dive in and make him lose track of me.
Oh, I love it when they run. Give me a covert operations roll.
Great.
You're going to be going against my notice roll.
I really don't care, because I may have failed in the technical sense, but I have 2 boosted abilities, which is Hearts of Gold, which I can treat a failed skill check as a critical success.
And that is a failed skill check, if e'er I saw one.
Exactly. It
So
would have
you-
been a 19 on dice, but now it's a...
You have used a boosted ability. Nice done. And thank you, chat, for giving him
Thank
that
you
boosted
so
ability.
much.
Otherwise,
Oh.
he would be knife bait.
That would be bad.
And leaping behind one of these desks, you think you might have lost him as he crosses the room. Come out, wherever you are. You're only gonna make this worse on yourself, kid. He jumps around one of the desks, but it's not the desk you're behind. Scans across the whole room, looking for you, and does not find you. Patrick, you are no longer stunned. You're lying on the floor of the room, alone. You can hear the voices from the science lab nearby.
Oh, they went into another room?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm going to crawl my ass over to that room. How far away is it?
It's about a 15-foot distance to crawl to the doorway of that room. The R17643's back is to you. He's still brandishing that wicked-looking knife.
You're looking at me. All right, fine. He's gonna be a punk about it. What's he wearing?
Like a jumpsuit, no real body armor or anything. But he is one of those superpowered guys.
Right. Which means bullets probably don't hurt him real bad. You can probably jam a knife in him.
I mean, John Stone was when he was able to break his spine when he was in the body of an avatar on Metaverse Prime, but he did also hit him at an incredible velocity through the window of his Jeep.
He was way tougher than a regular bastard.
But much tougher than a regular bastard, yes.
And now he's in his own body, which is probably way tougher than his avatar body.
Probably.
So when I split my actions this round, the first grenade is entanglement.
All right, give me a demolitions roll for that. And what's the second action?
Oh, the second action is incendiary to go on top of that glue grenade to catch all of that on fire real good.
Hold him down and catch him on fire.
Yeah, and I'll use both of my waffle abilities.
All right, what is your boosted ability, your waffle ability, by the way? Let the audience
double
know.
the damage and burst area of any explosive device.
Okay.
Which is, and I can choose 2 effects for each grenade, and the sticky is only one of the effects.
Okay.
So burning will be the other effect.
So both are sticky and burning.
Yeah, sticky burning grenades.
A pair of double damage, double area of effect, sticky burning grenades. All right, go ahead and give me 2 demolitions rolls.
Moment of clarity.
Moment of clarity used from the store.
Really want one of these to hit.
That'd be good.
It'll definitely be that one. Beat it by 12.
Oh, and it hits with a critical success. So we're actually going to be doing triple damage on that first one.
Whoa.
The second one, I only beat by 13.
Oh.
Triple damage on the second one. So he is bound solidly in place as the immediate incendiary grenade effect goes off.
Let's see. 50 times 2 times 3. It's 150 each.
For 150 each, so different sources of damage matter for applying armor. So you burn the ever-living hell out of this guy, and when those flames finally stop from that incendiary grenade, he is almost completely unrecognizable. Flesh has been melted off of him. Half of his face is a ruined mess, but he is somehow not dead.
What? Me, not him.
Jeezy crazy.
Mac.
All right.
Two explosions have gone off. This knife-wielding maniac is burned horribly. It is, even in your experience, having seen some really graphic things in the past several weeks, by far the most disturbing sight you have ever seen.
Have fun not being able to move while you continue to burn for the next several rounds. You douchebag.
I would like to
Kill the
beeline it to the most important looking terminal in the room, because this is a space Nazi robotics lab. So there's going to be some war machine around here somewhere.
Oh, speaking of war machine, yeah, you actually, there is quite obviously something in this room with you. Dominating one of the tables nearest to you is a massive weapon. It looks similar to like a Gatling gun type apparatus attached to a backpack, but there are only 3 barrels, you could call it, on it, but they don't look like they rotate. And it has a striking resemblance to some of the plasma weapons you've seen.
Well, this is going to be heavy. So I'm going to take the floating dolly and just, slide that under the actual barrel, don the backpack, and wheel around. I've been stabbed enough on this trip. I don't want to do it again.
This Professor Richard Gatling's rotating drink dispenser.
Give me a shooting
Except
test.
it only shoots plasma.
In fact, you're right. It is a cyclic plasma emitter.
Great. I would like to, using my +2 Patreon buff to make that a success by a 1, and then using my Mac buff, laser focus, turn that success into a critical success.
The cyclic plasma emitter uses the 3 different barrels to continuously fire a plasma beam forward, as usually the weapons overheat, making them single-shot lob weapons. But with the 3 barrels, they alternate firing at a single trajectory, creating a continuous beam, much like someone said a flamethrower, kind of like the concept of a flamethrower, but a continuous plasma beam.
Much hotter.
This already horribly disfigured and burned man is almost completely vaporized by the plasma.
Almost
blast.
completely?
His legs from like the knees down are still there.
Well, we're taking those. Those are our legs now.
Heck yeah.
Patrick, I might throw up.
Back to John Stone.
Yeah.
Well, then do it. Stop.
John,
talking
it is
about
your
it.
action. You
What
seem
is-
to have hit the machine man with enough electricity that he is not really quite capable of acting in this given round.
So question, what does a badass do for me?
You can use the buff to ignore all damage for a single round.
Right. Okay.
It makes you badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What variety of badassery are we talking
John,
about?
I believe I have a solution. It has a probability of success of 13%, but it is the only situation that I find that will preserve yourself and Eli. If you continue to fight, I estimate that you have a 3% chance of survival. Permission to proceed.
13%.
Well, 13 is better than 3.
Yep.
About 10.
Because I had an idea, but I'll listen to whatever you
See,
want
the
to tell.
computer brain and John Stone is working overtime doing
Heck
that
yeah.
math.
Yeah. You need a co-processor for that one.
I require your permission to proceed, John.
Sure, go for it, Tom.
Accessing AI matrix.
Wait,
Initiating
wait.
cross transfer.
Just wanna.
Goodbye, John.
Just wanna. Are you leaving?
And with that, the Tom presence, the whole like you can normally feel in there, is just gone. The robotic Eli staggers forward a step or two, and then you feel someone else inside of your head. Where am I? What happened? John? John? Is that you, John?
Yeah, Eli. So you know how we used to share a bed when we were kids? This is kind of like that, except we're sharing my head.
An automated voice comes from the staggered machine man. Invasive program detected. Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Oh, how long till that self-destruct goes off?
You don't know.
Okay, we have to get away from this blast. I assume it's a blast. So here's what I'm gonna do.
There is a nearby lift to you. Those lifts go all the way up the whole complex. One of them is not on your floor, but by sheer luck, one of them is on your floor.
Where are they?
20 floors up and through a corridor.
20 floors?
Mm-hmm. 20 floors up.
20 floors.
Mm-hmm. So a little over 200 feet.
Oh, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Got an idea. Where am I? Am I on a
You're on the
platform?
very bottom
Oh.
of this massive chamber. When he hit you initially, you went over the railing and fell to the bottom.
Oh, okay. What's around me?
It's basically got a very open room with you can see all of those walkways and catwalks all above you.
Okay.
There's some maintenance closets down here. It doesn't look like it's used very often, this bottom floor.
Very, very good. Is anything really, really super hard, sturdy, movable things around?
Movable? Not the robot itself that's about to self-destruct.
Oh. What other heavy things are around?
The other heaviest thing would be the lift with the doors open to your immediate left.
All right, fine. Let's get the lift. I had an idea, but it's not gonna work. So I'll just run to the lift.
All right, you dash in the lift. What floor do you want to go to?
Their floor.
All right, you press the button to go up 20
Housewares.
floors. And your comm comes alive. Captain Pierce to anybody? Anybody there? Hello?
Hey.
This is Mac. What's up?
So you crazy idiots are still alive? All right. How about a pickup? With the shitstorm going on in Luna, I think I can manage a dine and dash if you reach a hangar. It's now or never, though, guys. It ain't gonna last long.
We're already running.
Yeah, there's a alarm going off. Can you hear it? That loud horn. This place is gonna blow up real soon.
That's a good guess.
All right. You reach 20 floors up just as they're coming out of a science lab area. Mac is sporting a strange weapon attached to a backpack.
This is very heavy.
It looks similar to a Gatling gun in nature.
I think it's badass. We're keeping it.
Oh, we're definitely keeping it. This
Yeah,
one's
for
mine.
sure. We're getting a pickup. How do we get to?
Got the drone.
the
You
pick-
still have the schematics in your head
we
from
can
when
mount
Tom
that.
accessed them and know that there is a
And then
hangar
have to
nearby
carry
that
it
you can
around like a
proceed to.
buffoon.
You're going to need to go up a few more floors and then down some sets of corridors.
Okay. We gotta go up a couple of floors and down some corridors, and we can get out there and meet the ship and get out of here.
You rise up through another 10 floors almost to the top and begin moving through a corridor. Then again, the PA system goes off. Emergency evacuation ordered. All personnel to their designated evacuation points. Station integrity compromised. And then a massive explosion goes off somewhere behind you.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, it was not us this time.
It shakes even the hallway you're in. It seems to have come from the chamber that you left moments ago, but many floors down.
Oh, that's our robot friend.
Yeah, we didn't. I hope your brother wasn't the supervillain that we melted.
No, I have him.
You dash into a hangar area.
Good, buddy. Good.
Lab-coated engineers and soldiers are boarding transports. Some of them run right by you, like no one seems to be really regarding you so much. They're all scrambling aboard transports like you took on the way in here.
Hello.
The Reliance descends through the open hangar, the ramp lowering, kind of maintaining a hover in the middle of the hangar. Several of the soldiers point and a few of them fire upon it, but the weapons seem to have no significant effect on the ship.
Don't shoot
Is
our
that
ship.
right?
Bang. Stop shooting at that.
That is your ride.
So we can run over to it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
You cross the hangar and run up the ramp, boarding the Reliance. And as it closes and the ship rises out of the hangar, you can see sections of the Luna base crumbling and falling or exploding outwards across the surface as hundreds of small transports all over the place begin fleeing and evacuating. And then another signal comes through the comm on here. In fact, it's on all channels as though somebody is broadcasting to every available channel. This is Quaid of the Martian Resistance. For too long you have kept us under your boot. Today that ends, and today I strike a blow for Martians everywhere. And the capital ships in orbit around Luna suddenly explode. All of them.
What?
That's pretty sick.
Even those surrounding distant Mars explode.
What?
And then the Reliance phases, shifts, and you're back in the hangar at Archangel Base on Earth. And we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with you guys. See you more on Masters of the Metaverse coming soon. Welcome back, everybody, to Masters of the Metaverse on the Zombie Orpheus channel here on Twitch. Joining the table, I have Helen Roundhill, Mark Thomason, and Christian Doyle.
Hey! I feel like I've been here before.
You might very well have. And before we get started, I've got some Patreon poll results for you guys.
Ooh.
Helen, you get plus 20 health and plus 4 to a roll. Mark, you get plus 30 health and plus 2 to a roll. And Christian, plus 20 health and plus 3 to a roll. I still have plus 20 health and plus 2 to a roll left over from the last half of this game, which I was saving for this half.
Well, thanks.
Archangel Base is strangely silent when you get out of your metapods. Thomas, Patrick, John Stone, and Mac are not there. Monty, the submarine pilot, is playing solitaire near Dr. Lang, who is tied to a chair and currently gagged. But those other 4 being gone is not something you expected.
Thanks, Christian. He's chatting for me as me. And it was an appropriate moment. It worked out very well. Thanks.
I'll let you be you for a minute, I guess. But if you say anything normal, I'm gonna ruin it. Do I have to separate you two, by the way, or are you gonna start like spontaneously making it? No.
No.
Though that is very fresh, as that is just where you came from.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
so we
before you
just-
climbed, you
that's
just
right.
climbed out of your
Just
metapods
got
from
back
that.
from the metapods.
Like
Okay.
literally just
I
climbed.
was
Except
there,
those
I saw
4
everything.
Except those 4 individuals who you expected to be here are not here.
It was super gross.
Well, there should have been like a few other people here too, right?
Well, the other metapods, but they are still in pods doing
Okay.
the tasks set
So there's
before
some
them.
odds.
Important.
But out of the people that
business.
weren't in pods, there's no Mac,
Patrick.
no Thomas, no Patrick, no John Stone.
As long as they're not off doing something stupid, we should be fine.
Where did everybody go?
Monty stops playing solitaire for a minute. Well, they took the ship with the Pierce guy. Said they were going to 742.
What? No.
In the ship?
What?
No.
Yeah, the fancy ship.
No.
Why would they do that?
The
idiots.
the Patrick guy said something about being a terrorist, taking the fight to them or something like that. And the John guy, he said his brother was there or something like that.
Oh God.
How would Eli get to 742?
I just pilot submarines, Bruno. You know that.
Pierce has a ship.
Right. But Eli? How would, John's been looking for Eli for forever. Like,
That I don't know. That I don't know. I'm sorry. I wish I did. Well,
Patrick wanted to get out of our metaverse so that he couldn't be avatar controlled.
tinfoil hat.
He was wearing the tinfoil hat for a bit.
Oh my god.
He did say something about not being taken over, and it kept complaining about no superpowers. No superpowers, no superpowers.
Well, that could put a big monkey wrench in either our or their plans.
But the Thomas guy, he really didn't want to go.
He took Thomas with him?
Yeah.
They took Thomas with them.
Why would they take Thomas?
He really didn't want to go.
That
What about Mac?
is probably wise.
He took Mac too. The kid went with him.
Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine here.
How are you?
Thomas might be a voice of reason. That might be okay.
Might.
Oh,
if
and
anyone listens to him.
Fair point.
the Patrick guy said to not listen to a word that the doctor said. That's why I gagged him and tied him up.
Wait, do we know him?
Dr. Simon Lang.
Oh, the doctor that worked here.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him.
That seems like an appropriate place for him.
All right.
Oh, and the robot is hanging out down in the sub hangar.
Robot. Remind me.
Reese,
John?
the transformer.
Oh, the submarine.
Yeah.
The
Stagecoach.
Hey, he was trying to see if you could get access to any signals or radio waves or some. I wasn't really paying attention.
You know, I know this is strange coming from me, but that guy has the weirdest friends. Just gonna say it.
Which guy?
That whole gang, Patrick and John and little Maddox's little brother, they keep ending up with talking vehicles, and I don't get it.
Are you envious? Is that
No, but I'm just saying, I've been doing this for a couple of years now. Never once did I end up with a talking vehicle. And I don't want one. I'm just saying.
Maybe next time.
Those guys in talking vehicles are very...
Maybe next time you get rocket boots, they can sass you back.
Oh, God, that sounds great.
And suddenly you're not alone in the room, as Rhodes, who you formerly known as Zenda, is standing in the room with you.
Hey, Ron.
Mr. Jackson, it's time. They're waiting.
All right, let's go.
Miss James, Mr. Hamilton.
Good to see you.
And suddenly you're standing in an arena. A huge disc of stone is ringed by thousands of metapilots from across the metaverse.
Boom!
Crash, Andy, and Bruno are standing at one edge. A trio of other, obviously, metapilots stands at the other. They could be siblings of yours. Both of you. They're very similar family resemblances to the both of you. Or even, cousins, uncles. I mean, one of them resembles Crash so strongly he could easily be an older brother. In the center of the disc is the monument to Maddox McFernan. Travelers, you have convened today to decide a most serious matter of the metaverse. As Rhodes, it is my duty to preside over this, and I am bound by the decisions that you make today. Representatives of Metaverse 00742, please state your position and request before your peers gathered here today. The one that resembles Crash the most strides forward. I, Jackson Trinity, speak for Metaverse 00742. We lay claim to what is ours by right, the Metaverse Prime, and the position as masters of the Metaverse. We make this claim by force and by the preservation of order within the Metaverse. These foolish children wander aimlessly, disturbing the peace and order of metaverses and without regard to their responsibilities. They steer the entire metaverse on a course of chaos and chance. They have no right to the title and no ability to fulfill their obligations. Just look at them. A woman who doesn't know who she is. An idealistic man with the bearing of a child. And the third, he's not even a Class 5 pilot. He's an old man, in over his head and ignorant of the forces at work here. I say you must choose us, for we are your only hope. For more than 1,000 years, we have guided our home metaverse successfully to new heights and scientific breakthroughs. We have brought order from chaos, safety and security to all. Even now, our forces hold their very metaverse in our grasp. What fool could deny us this? That is our right. Turn your gaze here. Glowing green lights swirl and a limp Thomas Wells appears. This one was sent by these masters of the metaverse to assassinate us. This is what they bring you. Many of you know me and my kin. Have I not aided you? Guided you? Have I not given you the attention that you deserve? Have I not eliminated the countless problems and plagues that have threatened you? The choice is clear. You must appoint us masters of the metaverse, or suffer under the yoke of the indifference of these children. The gathered crowd of thousands of pilots begin talking and arguing amongst themselves, shouts and discussions in hundreds of languages. Some of them nearly come to blows. 742, you have been heard. Masters of the Metaverse, what words do you have for your gathered brethren?
Hold on. Fellow pilots of the Metaverse, my name is Crash Jackson, Class 5 pilot, Metaverse Prime. This is Andy James,
Hello?
Class 5 pilot, Metaverse Prime. And Bruno Hamilton, Proxy Metapilot, Metaverse Prime. Class 4, if that matters. These 742 guys, they talk a good game. They talk about order. They talk about reason. They talk about peace. But they let this place, our ancestral meeting place, fall to the wayside for 50,000 years. They haven't been here helping you. They've been pushing you in the direction that they want you to go so they can stage a coup and an invasion. And it worked because you're all sheep. And that's fine, but you got to stop that now. Look, I hear you all down there murmuring amongst yourselves at their words, and that's fine. But the truth is, it's not up to you. This isn't mob rule. We're Metaverse Prime. We're the masters of the metaverse, not you. So it's up to us. And we choose a trial by combat, as is our right in Arena. Myself and my 2 champions versus the 3 best from your metaverse.
100% behind you.
This is the way. I totally stole that, by the way. But you wouldn't know because you're not on a Prime metaverse. You don't have any of the good stuff without us. If you have order and reason and peace, that's all fine and well, but once your imagination is gone, your metaverse isn't there, man. It's not real without us. Everything will change, and everything will be gray and dreary. And, I mean, though those food replicators sound really cool.
The food replicators do sound
like, but everything else is bullshit, man. That guy, his Jackson Trinity, that's not his real name. He's just a number who decided to take a name so he could not look like an asshole in front of everybody here. And he didn't just take a name, he took my name. From my family. And we've got something to say about it. So grab your 3 class 5s. I'll take my 2 and Bruno Hamilton any day of the week.
Bruno Hamilton can take any class 5.
You have spoken. By the laws of the metaverse, this matter must be decided by challenge. Masters, you have the right of selecting the battleground. Challengees, you have the right of selecting your opponents. The metaverse has provided battlegrounds for you to participate in. The jungles of Tuadna of Metaverse 00511. The rocky desolation of Metaverse 00009. And the bitter tundra of the Calamare of Metaverse 00707. Challengees, select your opponents. The speaker strides forward first. I, Jackson Trinity, select Clarence Crash Jackson as my opponent. The woman strides next to him. I, Teresa Trinity, select Andy James as my opponent.
Plus their metaverse is sexist. Sorry.
Absolutely. What?
The third.
One of the men didn't want to lose to a girl?
I, Thaddeus Trinity, select the whelp Bruno Hamilton as my opponent.
Oh, good luck.
Boy, you're going to wish you hadn't said that.
Masters, choose your battlegrounds.
So we each go in it alone.
Do we each pick one?
You pick your choice, but once the selection is picked, that's it. You will face your opponent in single combat on the battleground of your choosing.
You're going to have the most luck in the jungle.
That's
It's
right.
going to have the most cover. You do a lot of sneaky sneaks. And
well, so does he.
yeah, but he can take a hit better than you can.
I wanted to go to the jungle anyway.
I figured you probably did. It's warmer there.
It's true. All right.
What are the other 2? Rocky, desolate wasteland.
You have the rocky desolation and the bitter tundra.
Why don't you take the tundra?
Yeah, that sounds super cold. Might as
That's what
well
I'm thinking.
send the guy who wears nothing but sweaters.
So what are your selections?
I got the tundra.
All right.
I got the jungle.
I guess I'm going to the rocky desolation. Sounds pleasant.
Excellent.
next time, Crash, maybe a briefing before we get to this point? Be
Maybe.
helpful.
Prepare yourselves.
We were
The challenge will begin shortly.
We were super busy.
I'm well aware.
I mean, I just spent the last 2 days just trying to keep the two of you from making out. There wasn't a lot of time to
That would be
debrief.
that would be our avatars.
So, yeah, no, we did not.
I
There was
would've
no
moved
us
this along a lot.
involved, and
I moved this along a lot sooner. I would have explained everything if, but if everything didn't fall into place, there was no way we were going to make this work. Fact is, there's still a fight to fight, even if we beat these guys. And hopefully our compatriots are doing their jobs. And hopefully Mr. Irish Death and his little boy and their robot friend didn't screw everything up for us.
You sure you know what you're doing, Mr. Jackson?
Rhodes. No, I don't. But
I am, of course, bound by the rules, and I cannot interfere at all. I could not do something like let you know, Mr. Hamilton, that Thaddeus is incredibly strong, very durable, has powers over the earth, and can send shockwaves and fly. I could never, ever do something like that.
and it's a good thing that you didn't. That would have been against the rules.
I could never tell you, Miss James, that Teresa Trinity can fly, has regeneration, is incredibly strong, has reaction time and speed that is phenomenal, and control over frost and ice. I could never tell you those things. It would be
What?
strictly forbidden.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I don't think he repeats
No, no. Well, I didn't hear him say anything anyway.
because he didn't say anything.
And I could never tell you, Mr. Jackson, that Jackson Trinity is a sorcerer and has enhanced strength,
Of course.
can control kinetic fields and magnetic fields, has telekinesis and flight. I could never tell you these things. It would be completely against the rules for me to do it.
It's a good thing you didn't.
I could never tell you that they're more than 1,000 years old and they've been doing this a very long time. And I could never tell you
Then
that
they're
they're
probably
completely
seven
arrogant
years.
fucksticks.
No, I don't think you needed to.
That part we knew. And that is our advantage.
Probably also stuck in their ways. Hopefully the years haven't been too kind.
But how have you been? I noticed that the two of you made a slight detour on your last little adventure. How was that?
We can't really talk about it, but I mean, we're back. We're back.
We are. And we're whole.
We'll tell you the story sometime. It was an adventure.
Be careful, Mr. Hamilton.
Appreciate it.
I thought you didn't do careful. You literally said those words to me once.
Probably did. At that. Things have changed a little.
They separate the three contenders, each of you being sent to your battleground of choosing.
I'll see you both right after this is over.
Not burying friends today. Or family.
Copy that.
Long distance fist bumps? No reason.
Oh, Lord.
You are each separated and sent to, again, it takes place upon arena, and as you've witnessed in the past, places in other metaverse bleed over, and as though these three locations have bled over from some other metaverse and taken up a section of the territory within arena. Where each of you is slated to face your opponent.
All right.
The tundra is cold, Crash. There's a lot of trees covered in snow and ice, and some powerful winds. About 3 feet of snow on the ground. It's got that layer of permafrost on the top, so it's like breaking through every time you step.
Oh no, I'm not putting that much weight on it.
That was an interesting sound effect.
Not intentional, sorry.
Oh, Jackson.
You know, someone did just mention, before we get into the whole morbid details, there is a dance party in the store.
Before we
Well, why don't we dance
before we
when
all
we
die,
celebrate?
one last dance.
Let's dance.
Well, you know, I'd prefer to do it now where I have everyone at the table in case, you know, somebody does die and then they're not at the table anymore. Let's make this a full dance party.
Wait, is anybody not planning on being here next season? I just want to make sure that like we're not writing somebody off the show and I didn't hear about it.
Oh,
You probably are. That's
I'm moving
usually
to
the way
Florida.
it goes.
I
knew
forgot
it.
to
You.
say. No, I'm coming back.
Oh, okay.
You can't get rid of me. You can write me off the show, and I'll still like show up and
If
be like,
you're
I'm
moving
at the
to
door.
Florida, you could be. There are all sorts of strange forces at work down there.
It's true.
People don't know that there's something happening, so they're all outside hugging each other and kissing.
No
I mean,
reason.
Florida's probably like with all the Florida man stories and everything. It's probably like the arena of the real world. Like,
Yeah,
it's where like all the weird people from other metaverses converge. Just saying.
Makes so much
Do not
sense.
underestimate the
explain a
power of
lot.
Florida.
That's the nicest thing you could say about
Florida
That is
man.
the nicest thing you can say.
They have Disney World.
You doing this?
We're waiting on you.
I didn't know.
You're in charge. You're the
Yeah,
boss.
you are in charge.
Now we're waiting on the computer. Sorry.
That's all right.
Wait on the computer. My dance skills can't be held back.
Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse, they travel through time and space and stuff. Control them, re-roll them, throw them above. They fly through dimensions, this isn't love. Heroes compelled, they have no choice. Bound by the winds of a secret voice. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse.
All right.
A brief moment of levity.
Wiggle,
Well,
wiggle.
time to kill everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Martial artist.
This is the tundra. It's got snow and ice everywhere. It is bitterly cold. You're not sure where your opponent is, but you know that they are somewhere on this frosty tundra with you. Andy James, you are in one of the thickest and most dense jungles you've ever seen. There are all kinds of strange little creatures, none of them really resembling those you would expect to find in the jungle from the Discovery Channel, but then again, this isn't your homeworld that they're coming from. But they bear many similarities. Things that crawl and fly and walk and all kinds of other modes of transportation. All lovely and exotic, brilliant colored flowers, low-hanging vines.
Low-hanging fruit.
That's your specialty, actually.
I know. I brought it with me.
And again, you don't know where your opponent is, and it's very, very hot and humid. You are soaked to the skin within seconds of walking into it.
This was definitely the right environment for you.
I was gonna say, I almost wore a white t-shirt today. I'm glad I didn't.
Bruno, where you're in is, it's like out of an old Western, you know, the craggy, rocky peaks everywhere, and little canyons, and small little divots, and big piles of sand and rock all together on boulders. There's barely any vegetation, and that which is very strange looking, but you would describe it maybe as some form of like cacti. Not very much at all. And it is also very hot, but it is incredibly dry. It's kind of like your worst desert experiences that you've had earlier in your career. But hotter. Significantly hotter.
Pleasant.
And again, you know that you have an opponent somewhere in this rocky desolation. You all have the vague feeling of being watched. And you're fairly certain that the pilots that surround that disk have a wonderful view of whatever is going on.
Well,
And the question is, are you going to hunt or be hunted? So, Bruno, what are you doing? How are you dealing with this?
Looking for a defensible position and trying to get a rough idea of, even just a rough idea of what direction my opponent might be in, where they're coming from?
Give me a notice check first.
We're in D10s?
You are on D10s unless you use clarity that we don't have in the store, but there are 2 meta surges that you can use to improve your roll or penalize another person's.
Matched it exactly.
Matched it exactly. Well, looking around, you see a variety of places that could be fairly useful. Mostly you see how to stay out of sight for the most part. But there's a few rocky formations that you could put your back to and limit the number of angles that someone could come at you.
Cool. Sounds good.
You don't see anyone in the rocky wasteland. Though if you climbed up to the top of something and put yourself out in the open, you probably could, but that would very much also silhouette yourself.
Yeah, we'll skip that for the moment.
All right. Andy James in the jungle, tell me, how are you going to be going about this?
Well, I assume we're going to stumble on each other at some point. I would just like to be hunting her first. So,
aggressive.
Ideally, well, gotta get the jump on her. She's wily. So I would like to use notice.
Mm-hmm. What are you trying to look for?
Trying to figure out where she is.
Mm.
I think probably I have infravision.
You have a variety of senses that you could
super hearing.
Read that entire thing before you tell me what you're going to do.
Okay.
All the way through, because there's some important
sonar.
There's some important words at the end of all of those available things.
Oh yes, activated individually. What is blind sense?
Short proximity, you can detect someone no matter if they can be seen or not.
Well, that seems like a good.
But it is very close
Very
proximity.
close proximity. All right. I think I'm gonna rely on super hearing and see if I can hear her breathe.
Give me a notice check, please.
Lord. Okay.
The jungle is quite noisy, and you're trying to single out a single individual
Super
sound.
hearing.
No one else could do it. No one else could even try to do it.
You could.
That's true. No one else but him.
Abby could.
No one else but.
Not that I'm, bragging about or anything. Yeah, I'm gonna beat that by 6.
Beat that by 6. All right. Using powers activated from the being we like to call Hal, who is the Titan Force Matrix controller designee, you activate super hearing. And reaching out through the jungle past all the chirping birds and crawling insects and every other sound, even there's a waterfall somewhere in this jungle here with you managed to pick up in your hearing. You can hear steady breathing. Flying treetop level.
Flying, of course she's flying. Okay. Treetop level?
Mm-hmm. Hugging the trees.
Hugging the trees. Well, great. I'm going to fly directly at it, sinister knife first.
All right, flying in the direction of the noise. All right, let's cut to Crash in the frozen tundra, making it so he's not breaking through the ice and walking on the surface of the snow.
Just standing, looking around, waiting.
Trees, more trees. There's some strange six-legged antler-like creatures eating some of the brush nearby.
Mm-hmm.
It is very, very quiet. A few minutes pass, and still
I
nothing.
sit down and I just go. The beauty part is every minute that we're here together is another base that you're losing. I don't even have to beat you. I just have to stay here long enough alive. And I sit down, cross-legged, in the middle of the snow.
While you don't possess the taunt skill, I want you to make a taunt roll, please.
Yeah, I'll do that. Soul?
Soul.
You gotta turn that Jackson Trinity into a Jackson Pollock.
I'm going to give you a 6-point bonus again on your soul for this roll.
And I'll need at least that in order to make it, so. I hit it exactly.
Hit it exactly. All right, that is a good taunt. Let's cut back to Bruno. You can feel something in the ground moving more than anything else, like shock waves. And you see a couple of sections of rock off in the distance crumble down, just for no apparent reason, just completely collapsing. But it seems to you like there's maybe some pattern to the different sections of rock that begin crumbling down within your sight. I did a notice roll from you.
Excellent.
Oh, we're gonna need to
bounce right out. But I beat it by 5.
beat it by 5. You're almost 100% certain that these rock formations that you're watching individually be crumbled down into nothing are ones that would be good hiding spots.
Okay.
If someone were to use them there. Like someone is targeting the good hiding spots.
Interesting.
When you say crumble down,
Like an earthquake is hitting them.
okay. Are they all in one general direction?
No, well, yeah, they're a little bit, in fact, to your southeast. And slowly making their way in your general direction. But not particularly fast.
I want to try and triangulate the timing, the tempo that they're crumbling at, and the which ones and what locations are crumbling, to see if I can figure out a direction and a rough position of the force being generated from. Can I do that?
Yeah, I'm going to take a covert ops roll for you to do that.
Beat it by 9.
I didn't read it. Sorry. Beat it by 9. You are almost 100% certain that wherever it's coming from is between some of those formations to your southeast.
Distance? Rough?
Less than a mile. Probably using some kind of cover to maintain out of sight. Fairly close to the ground. If not on the ground, you're not entirely sure. But they're definitely moving on a pattern in your general direction. About a mile or so to your southeast. I mean, if you had artillery, you're fairly certain you could hit the location he's at with artillery, but you don't happen to have it.
Yeah, that's where that briefing would have been nice. Would have had something on me besides a couple of pistols.
He's being nice, letting me use them.
What else was Bruno gonna use? That's all he's got.
He's kind of strong too. Don't count
True,
that out.
that's true.
He can beat the ass off of just about anything with an axe.
And he's got a beard.
You are, however, underclassed in this fight. But have the advantage of knowing it. Are you going to maintain position or?
I think I'm gonna maintain position for a little bit longer.
Let it get closer? All right, let's cut to Andy James.
I just put water in my mouth.
At least it was just water this time. Okay.
Oh, there's a thing I'm not gonna say, but yes. Okay.
You are streaking through the jungle, heading towards the direction of that breathing. I will take another notice check
You
from
are
you.
streaking through the jungle.
Yes.
Exactly how I pictured Andy James.
White t-shirt.
Yep.
Oh,
White,
Lord.
wet t-shirt.
White wet t-shirt. I mean, we're several seasons away from losing the pants every episode. So.
Oh, that was another character a long time ago.
I mean, yeah, but I still have the memories. All right, I'm gonna beat that by 8.
Beat that by 8. For a moment, you almost don't see her. She is moving so fast on the treetops, with much faster than yourself. Really obscenely fast, and like a kind of a speed that you used to have yourself. That kind of a speed.
Wait, I'm not flying at 500 miles
You're
per
flying
hour?
at 500 miles an hour, but there was a time
But
when
she's
you could
faster?
move. There's a time when
Oh,
you could
that's
move
true.
faster
I
than
move
that.
faster.
And she is definitely moving that fast.
Those were the days.
If you didn't have those memories of being Blue Streak once and knowing what super speed really looks like, you might have missed her. In fact,
a
it's
couple
less
times.
that you can see her moving across the treetops and more you can see the pathway that she's moving from the trees and brush
Oh,
moving.
Jesus, okay.
But she's flying some kind of a grid pattern, like she's searching the forest.
Oh, interesting. And then she flew into my knife. She flew into my knife 10 times.
If only it were so easy. But you know, you yourself are not exactly making any attempt to hide. So the two of you do see each other simultaneously, and we're going to need initiative for that to begin.
We're on 12s?
12s for initiative. For those that want to pick strategy as your offensive maneuver, every time you disengage from combat and re-engage, a new initiative will be determined. So
Interesting.
if you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in, standing your ground might not be your best choice. What do we have over there, Miss James?
Can I reroll?
You could use up your buff to
I'm not
reroll.
gonna use up my buff.
Okay.
All right, 16.
16, and I have a 32.
Yeah, of course you do. Of
Well,
course you do.
Super speed and super reflexes do attribute for a part of that.
A good part.
Yeah, the majority of it, in fact.
I'd say most of that is super speed and reflexes.
Great.
And flying through the air to meet you before you were able to stab her with any form of knife. Wow, she is fast. She closes the distance, and we're going to start with some frost and ice generation. We're going to freeze you in place solidly.
Are you?
Oh, yes.
In the middle of the jungle?
In the middle of the jungle.
Yeah?
That's cool.
Extremely cool. In fact,
That's
it's
fine.
cold.
You'll be fine.
And I am going to get a 3 against a score of 16, so success by 13. You are an ice cube, which immediately begins plummeting towards the ground.
Great. I love that. I love that for me.
Before you can hit the ground, the second action of Teresa Trinity, I'm going to use super strength to bust open said ice cube and try to shatter you into thousands of pieces as a frozen being. And I will succeed on a fighting check, and as you are frozen, your dodge bonus will not apply. And
Can I use super strength to hold myself together? Because
You probably won't fall apart.
And this will be a 60 damage physical blow.
Oh, cool. Armor.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep.
Not a critical success, so not a significant amount of damage. And then the third action of Teresa Trinity is to hit you again.
What does she have?
Remember when you used to have super speed?
I do. I had 5. I had 5.
You were really fast.
It was really fast.
Mm-hmm. The second one is going to be a critical success, so it will be a 120 damage hit for the second hit. Your nose is bloodied. Andy James, it is your turn. You have been struck twice in mid-flight, and the two of you have descended below the tree line at this point and are among the trees and brush. In
Cool.
close combat, it is your action.
It is my action. In close combat?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
She did just punch you twice really hard.
Yeah, she sure did. Great. How close is she? Like
In
super
hand-to-hand
close?
combat.
Hand-to-hand combat. Wonderful. Yeah, I'm stabby. I mean, that's. I think ideally I'm going to attempt to grab her neck and just start going for the chest. No, it's a neck slice.
I'll
I
take
changed my
fighting
mind.
checks to use the demon knife in close combat.
Okay.
Saw away at the neck.
Right. Just all that corded out neck. Where did there's fighting? All right.
Yeah, your skills are in 2 columns now
You
because
sure
your
I can't
character sheet.
roll on athletics?
Nope, I am 100% certain that this is fighting.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this fight is more of a dance. You know, a dance between 2 deadly predators. All right.
Which I would use fighting as the skill for if that was the
Yep,
case as
okay.
well.
Well, that's okay because I beat it by 6.
You did by 6, that is a success.
Mm-hmm.
The demon knife, you slash forward with it and shatter the blade on her skin.
I'm sorry. What?
She's got lots of armors too.
You don't have a demon knife anymore.
Until you summon another one.
Until you summon another one.
Oh, okay.
It shatters on impact.
Can't you
I-
literally reform those anytime you think about it?
Well, now see,
And it
I
shatters
wasn't
on
sure
impact,
if it was.
not just because you hit something hard, but because you also are incredibly strong and swung that demon knife really, really hard as well.
Right.
The combination of the two completely shattered the blade into thousands of pieces.
That is a good point, Merc. Doesn't the demon blade ignore armor?
Ignores like things like body armor. Yes, not everyone has body armor.
Force fields are different than body armor.
Gotcha. Well, you know, learning is an important thing. Cool. I am going to teleport the fuck out of her grasp. And then
Teleported to 10 feet as a
up
free
to
action.
you know what? 10 feet is 10 feet away.
Which direction?
Behind her.
All right, you teleport 10 feet behind her. Do you have a covert operations or spy stuff roll you can make?
I sure do.
I'll take that.
You'll take that. Oh, good. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna beat that by 10.
Because this is extremely dense jungle, your distance of 10 feet puts you behind some trees and vines that are really close to where the two of you were, falling behind the tree line, out of her direct line of sight.
Good.
She turns about as though looking for you. Let's go ahead and cut to Crash Jackson. Crash, you are sitting cross-legged. When you see him flying through the air, over the tundra, through the trees, in your direction. Almost in a beeline to you, as though he knows precisely where you are. Going to continue to make no action?
Yeah, at the moment.
All right.
Until he gets close enough to really talk to.
Very quickly, he gets close enough to really talk to you. He's not as fast as, his sister, but he is very fast.
Hey. I should be dead already. Taking your sweet time with this, Jackson. You think my plan was a bluff?
You know I didn't steal your name. That's my name.
For 1,000 years, I heard. R something, 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 something.
Oh, you're mistaken. I
Created the numbers. Got
clones.
it.
I'm not one.
Right, you're one of the originals. That's really great, man.
I was born.
Yeah.
Much like yourself.
So, you seem to be very powerful. That's great. I was at one point bonded to the god Zeus. You're familiar? Mythology, Greece, way back in the day.
I know precisely who you're bonded to, Mr. Jackson.
Great.
I've done my research.
Well, if you had really done your research, you would know that Zeus's daughters were the Muses. Did you know that? They had the power to spin fate and tell the future. It was pretty cool. Like I said, every moment that I'm still alive and we're here together, well, let's just say giving people dreams is one of the things I can do. And I told this crazy Irishman that he could probably blow up the moon if he tried. Who is guarding that, by the way, on 742? Is that supposed to be you?
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, I already did. 2 weeks ago, he started having the dreams.
You are much smarter than I've given you credit for, Mr. Jackson. That is
Oh,
a
no.
mistake I will not make again.
Not me. I'm just a dumb kid. But Zeus, man, master strategist.
No matter, when this is finished, the moon will be irrelevant.
I'm guessing it already is. Nobody on the home front. That's got to be rough. So you want to fight now?
Oh, we're not going to fight. I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah, I figured it was probably going to be something like that.
Initiative.
I relent.
Choosing to not go?
I'm choosing to not roll initiative.
Okay. I am going to use sorcery and attempt to disintegrate you. Dead on, which is not going to be a success against you. And one more try. Success by 4.
Success by 4 is not going to beat my dodge bonus.
All right. Are you going to continue to not act?
Oh no. I'll give him a hit. I'll punch him. Are we doing sorcery? I didn't know we're doing sorcery.
He apparently is doing sorcery.
All right. Punch spell.
I will take a fighting check from you, or if you're going to not make physical contact, you can make power usage instead. And yes, I'm assuming you're actually physically punching him, or
Well, if he's not really close enough to punch, right?
not particularly, but you can cross that distance.
Yeah,
So
I can be there so fast he won't even know what happened. Well, he will, because he's really fast also.
He is pretty fast.
But I'm pretty sure he doesn't have that kind of a dodge bonus. So I beat him by 12.
That is better than his dodge bonus, but not enough to be a critical success.
That's fine. I'll take it.
What kind of damage are we dealing to Jackson Trinity?
We are dealing, let's see, I don't have any special fancy things going on, so 70.
70. You hit him, and the physical force launches him into a tree, which shatters in half on his impact. But he blows through the tree, hits one knee, and then stands immediately back up as though the blow did not even phase him.
Right. Okay. Cool. I expected that a little bit, mostly.
Now we're going to need to do initiative unless you're going to choose to let him go first.
Oh, sure, yeah. Absolutely. Initiative sounds delightful. Oh, not so great. 13 plus 10, 23.
23, and I have a 21. After hitting him through the tree, you will go first.
He's still standing, I assume. Like he didn't even get knocked off his feet by going through that tree.
Well, he kind of did a sideways through the air, blew the tree in half, skated across the ground, broke it a little bit, and then stood.
I'm going to throw the tree at him telekinetically.
I'll take a power usage on that one.
Crash has used the spell Jackson's powerful fist of punching. It wasn't terribly effective, but I do appreciate the thought. I am worried for all three of you and hope that some #clarity will help.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Eldon. Awesome.
Thank you, Eldon, very much.
I want that spell in my next D&D game.
Yeah, right? 14, beat it by 6?
Beat it by 6.
Is that enough to hit him?
His dodge bonus is 6.
Yes.
The tree...
I had a feeling it was.
The tree is going to impact with a success by 6.
I know it's not going to do much more damage to him. It's another 70, so it probably didn't even...
Well, you're using an object added to the unarmed, so it's going to be a little more than the 70.
Oh, yeah, no, like I figured the thing does 50, plus, so it'll do 80 instead of 70.
The tree explodes upon impact, sending shards of wood all around him, his arms crossed in front of him, braced against the blow. But it doesn't seem to phase him that
Oh,
much.
that's a kinetic shield you got rocking there, man. That's great. Those are handy.
He is going to use telekinesis in his part to slam you repeatedly through multiple trees. With a success by 6.
Ugh, that'll get me.
And a success by 9.
Those will both get me.
These are also 70 damage hits, much like your own.
Ouch, that's gonna hurt a bunch. I'm gonna take a total of 40 on that.
Broken through trees, you are bloodied and bruised, but not broken. Let's cut over to Bruno Hamilton in the Rocky Desolation. A few minutes have passed, and you're almost 100% certain you could guess within about 50 meters of where this guy's got to be from the pattern of the rocky formation spread.
And is he moving towards me as he eliminates the further?
In a general direction, you know, he's still about 3/4 of a mile away at this point. So to narrow it down 100%, but not so much. But he is moving in your general direction.
But
he might move to your left or to your right, depending upon the course he takes, or he might move right at you.
But I'm guessing his range is a couple thousand feet, something like that.
Yeah, his range seems to be about 1,000 feet or so.
1,000 feet. Okay. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm waiting in my particular position until I think he's about to target it, and then that's going to bring him as close as possible so that I can line up a couple of shots. And just as he targets me, I'm going to fire a couple of bullets, leap away, and see what happens with the bullets and what his reaction is.
All right, you sit yourself up and wait, and the distance gets closer and closer and closer. And you can quite easily see him at about 1,000 feet, which is an insane range to shoot a pair of handguns. I'm just going to point that out.
I'm counting for, like, you know...
You're basically shooting like this.
Curly red.
It happens, they fall on him.
Well, being as they're, you know, 45 caliber 1911s, which drop 36 inches at 100 yards, so you're looking at a drop of about 430 inches at 300 yards.
Yeah, Sukiyaki Western Django.
So, something like this.
Ballistics.
Yep. Using my pistols as artillery.
So you make your shooting rolls while I am making my power usage rolls.
Okay. Beat it by 10.
Beat it by... Critical successes at extreme range. I need 2 of them from you. You're shooting both guns.
Second one missed.
You leap forward as the rocks begin collapsing around you. The first shot is dead on. You hit him even at this insane distance. You're pretty sure, I mean, you can't quite see 1,000 feet accurately, but you think you hit him like right between the eyes with that
Grease
shot.
grandpa.
But your second one is thrown off as one of the falling rocks strikes your arm and misaligns the shot at the last minute. But you are able to leap clear of the collapsing rock formation in the process of doing so. That bullet seems to do almost nothing upon impact. His head doesn't even snap back from the blow. And now I will need initiative from you. Right.
Oh.
Can
I don't like
Can I
them.
use the dice I rolled for my second shot for initiative? Yeah. 17.
You weren't rolling on 12s for your initiative?
Oh, you're right.
You should be on 12.
I forgot.
Watch, it's gonna be lower and I'm gonna feel bad.
Nope. That's gonna be 19.
All right, you
Not a lot,
have a
right?
19. I have a 17 for Thaddeus, so you're going to go first.
All right. What is he doing after I hit him and he's clearly...
He's very clearly focused upon you. You're not sure what he's going to do, but he is seeing you now.
All right, let's...
Of the 3 individuals, he is definitely physically the largest. And the guy, man, he could be like Thaddeus Thunder Jackson's brother. I mean, he looks so much like him.
Interesting.
It's disturbing. Even has that same sort of arrogant, pretentious bearing. The sort of thing you used to once think was a command presence, but you've come now to learn is less of a command presence and more of an arrogance presence.
Interesting. I think we're gonna charge him.
To do what?
Start shooting as many bullets at him as I can and see what happens.
All right, give me 2 shooting
Hail of
tests
fire.
as you rush forward, firing the handguns at him.
That one by 5. That one by 5. That one by 5. I'm coming with every way you can possibly roll 13. Oh, there we go. That one by 9.
You rush forward, emptying the magazines of both your handguns and hitting at least half of the shots, if not closer to 100% of the shots fired. And every single one of these bullets just impacts and stops and impacts and stops as he is striding towards you at the same time. just as about you're within like 200 feet and you've closed most of the citadel around him calmly walking. He holds up a single hand and you are hit with some form of, it feels like a shockwave moves through the air, like an explosion has gone off without an explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to do 40 damage to you, Bruno, and hurl you back through the air 50 feet. Crashing down amid the rocks. Andy James, you have hidden behind the trees in the jungle. Teresa doesn't seem to have located your presence, but she is looking around.
Great.
Come out, little bird. Or are you just going to hide?
I think I'm going to pop out with that sucker punch. Surprise attack.
Will you tell the audience at home what sucker punch is?
Only works as a surprise attack. 30 damage, stunned.
Plus 30.
Sorry, plus 30 damage and stunned for a round.
Plus 30 damage and stun. Give me a fighting check.
I'm going to beat it by 3.
Beat it by
No,
3.
sorry, I'm going to beat it by 5.
Beat it by 5, and because it is a surprise attack, her dodge bonus, which is insane, does not apply. And you are able to hit. What damage is that going to do? What's your unarmed?
Yes, that's going to do 110.
110, including the sucker punch.
Including the sucker punch.
You hit her hard in the back of the head, and blood flies from her mouth from the impact.
Oh, okay.
You hurt her that time.
Okay, great.
And now only initiative from you as you started a new combat after slipping away.
Okay.
You may get to follow that up with another attack. You might not. I mean, she is really fast.
She's supposed to be stunned, though. That's my... All right, 22.
Well, she would beat you, but as you pointed out, and as I was going to point out too, she is stunned for this round. So while her initiative score is higher, she can't act on her turn, so it does immediately go to your turn.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about Judge Opponent?
You can use a notice check, and you can find out things about your opponent. What powers they might have, what weaknesses they might have, and how successful you are determines how much information you can find out.
Gotcha.
Judge Opponent is not an attack and does not take the place of any of your
That was going to
attacks.
be my next question. All right, I'm going to Judge Opponent. And I'm going to say that those shoes really do not go with the ensemble, but that's fine.
They honestly don't.
They honestly don't. Great. Perfect.
Rolling against your notice score.
Which is, there it is. 7. By 7.
Beat it by 7. All right. What one thing do you want to know?
Okay, one thing.
Pick one thing, any one thing.
Vulnerabilities.
Vulnerabilities. Anything that might overcome her regeneration would probably be acidic based, you believe. You could also perhaps use some form of electricity or the like to stun her or slow down her central nervous system. And you believe that her control over ice and fire makes her, or excuse me, ice and frost leaves her vulnerable to fire.
I don't have fire. Okay.
You have speed in a jungle.
I have speed in the jungle.
You don't have fire?
I don't think so.
Wasn't your sorcery all fiery?
I don't have any of that.
Well then.
And also, I don't remember.
Ultravision's pretty hot.
Oh, is it?
Ultravision is pretty hot.
Great. Excellent. So,
you've got.
That's
super
one of the
speed,
Titan
right?
Force abilities.
great. Perfect. We'll do that. And we'll just. Great. So let's. I mean, we've wounded her in the back of the head. Let's follow it up with ultravision.
All right, Ultravision uses a power use roll in this case.
Okay. Perfect. Good Lord.
As she is stunned, her dodge bonus does not apply to this attack.
Yeah, it's a great fucking roll. I'm gonna beat that by 11.
Beat that by 11. That is a critical success, so it will deal double the normal damage. This is going to inflict 160 points of heat-based damage.
Great.
And while her armor still does apply to reduce that significantly, you have now disabled her powers of regeneration.
Excellent.
and burned the majority of her hair off as well.
Well,
Yeah.
she needed a haircut.
Yeah, it's kind of haphazard, splotchy, and there's horrible, horrible, ugly, melted skin underneath. Crash. You've been hurtled through trees, beaten against them. It was not particularly comfortable.
– I'm still judging opponent. I'm just
Give me a notice check.
fighting defensively this round.
Going to take a total defense action.
Yes.
All right. Give me a notice check first.
I beat it by at least 6.
Beat it by 6.
No,
All right.
7.
7. What do you want to know? What's one thing you want to know about this guy?
Maybe a weakness. That would be super handy.
Well, his power over kinetic fields and magnetic energy is not a full control of kinetic energy like you have. It's a kinetic field around it. And you believe that the weakness in his armor and protections is control of that kinetic field.
Neat. All right, and full defense the rest of the round.
All right, you're going to have a double dodge bonus this round.
Yeesh.
He's going to split his actions against you to make 4 total rolls.
Because he's got to go big or go home, right?
Yeah. Pushing the offense. Of the 4, he is going to physically use magnetic, excuse me, he's going to physically use telekinesis to try and hit 2 trees that he has broken your body through. He's going to smash you in between them like a pancake twice. Success by 6. A success by 8. And then he will use sorcery to hit you with a pair of exploding bolts of radiant energy.
Rude.
A success by 1. And a success by 6.
I just parkoured over all that.
You will go first again, sir.
I'm going to give him the old... What do you call it? Oh, yes. Punchy, punchy, face, face?
Punchy, punchy, face, face.
Yeah, I'm just going to go like flurry of
coming up with
blows.
all the
Split both my attacks.
All right, give me fighting rolls.
Beat it by 4. Nope. Beat it by 1,000,000. Sorry, not quite 1,000,000, but beat it by 11.
Beat it by 11.
And double ones.
2 critical successes. You still have 1 more. That was only 3.
It's alright, so I rolled double ones and I was done for the day. I'm like, nah, I don't need to roll any more dice forever.
Oh, excellent.
And success by 2.
Success by 2. Your first and last blows are not successes, but in his process of dodging 2 of those, he put himself perfectly lined up for
Forgot
those.
I had a left hand. Boom, boom!
So what is the double damage results on those?
140 each.
140 each. Both hits land home on those, and on the second one, you dislodge a tooth, which flies through the air, and you have, for certain, broken his nose. Blood is flowing freely down his face. And we're going to cut back to the Rocky Desolation.
They didn't teach you to
Bruno.
box.
Bruno, at this point, a loot box crashes to the ground in front of you. Tell us what's inside of it.
Oh, I just get to choose?
What?
Oh, snap.
You're gonna have to give me a minute for that one.
And they're platinum colored, not gold as you've known the loot boxes to be described in the past.
Cool. So before I figure that one out, I have a question. When I was firing the bullets and he was just getting hit, could I tell what was happening? Like,
They were flattening against
force
his
shield?
skin and falling down.
Like, was his skin like moving? Like it's hitting the skull underneath? Like the skin itself
It
is?
wasn't even breaking the skin.
Okay. But it seemed to impact
The physics were there,
the physics of hitting the skin, and then the skin.
but it was
itself
kind of like,
so strong.
shooting a rock.
Okay.
In fact, it was exactly like shooting a solid piece of granite or something.
Okay, we better hit that.
And thank you, chat. By the way, loot box is courtesy of chat.
Aw,
Oh,
thank you, Chad.
Is this a hack attack?
That's the
How
hack, yeah.
scary. That's why they're platinum.
Loot
Oh
boxes.
shit.
So with the golden loot boxes, you could get something from any metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what the platinums do?
How big is the loot box? Like, what's the
Size is relative.
Okay.
You decide what's in the loot box.
Interesting. I think what it's got to be is the wired devices that allow Lothar to use elemental magic. The arm strap things that he straps on to be able to
Very
use
nice.
his elemental sorcery.
All right, elemental control armbands.
Fuck yeah.
Assuming you're going to put those on.
Yeah.
All right. Discarding the empty firearms, you place on the armbands.
I still got more ammo clips in my.
Oh yeah, you got more ammo.
We're not discarding them. We're just holstering them for the moment.
He drops them.
Why did I do that? Excuse me for a second. I'm going to pick these back up.
No, Sonny, hold on.
Respect your elders.
And while you are putting in those armbands, he strides the distance across you, making like 15-foot single strides.
He's going the distance.
And bringing forth his fist to punch you directly in your face.
Oh, perfect.
No wrong dice. And I'm going to succeed on my fighting roll by 11.
Woo!
It's a critical success.
Well, his dodge is 6.
That is an 80 damage hit.
Okay.
Is it?
Blows off.
Because I have an 8-point penalty here that could say it's not.
I mean,
You very much have an 8-point penalty. You could apply and make that a
Bruno's still
success by
conscious.
3.
Bruno is still conscious, but like, what does that leave you with?
10 hit points. 10 health.
Yeah, so that's not a success.
Oh, so you're using them as fortune?
No,
it's
that's
still,
my fucking granddad.
Right, it's
You
still
do
a
not
success
lay
by-
a goddamn finger on him.
still a
Yeah.
success by 3, but your dodge is what, did you say?
6.
6. So in fact, the punch misses, and then he's going to attempt for his second action to use his shockwave on you, which is a special attack. Is there something that happens when somebody tries to use a special attack multiple times?
Bruno won't get fooled again. So when he tries the same special attack, it automatically is countered or avoided. So Bruno's going Matrix style and is dropping down like this to the ground. So the shockwave passes over him, coming back up and punching. And with the punch, we're going to try and do the same exact thing and use Lothar's elemental magic now that I have the straps in, and just plant the entire power of all of the earth stuff that he's been doing and put that shockwave force right back into him.
All
See how
right.
he likes that.
Give me a fighting roll followed by a elemental magic roll.
Damn, you're cool.
Fighting beat by 7.
That beats his dodge bonus.
And failed the elemental magic roll, so we're gonna use.
By how much?
By 3.
You do have a 4-point, I
I
believe.
have 2 point.
2 point?
2 point
Oh,
bonus.
only a 2.
Wow.
But there's also meta surges in the store as well. 2 of them.
And I can use that for a 2-point bonus?
Yes.
We'll use one of those in my.
And your
my,
patron have
Patreon
one meta
book.
surge is used. Oh, I also noticed that once you pop the Fun Don't Stop is still in the store. Patrick used both of those when he used the grenade trick to wipe the individuals out in the previous encounter. So if someone wants to remove the once you pop the Fun Don't Stop, that would be wonderful. He has actually a dodge bonus of 0.
Oh, nice. He's slow.
Not particularly. He has the inept defense disadvantage.
Mm.
One that Cash is intimately familiar with.
All right.
What is your unarmed damage traditionally?
Traditionally, it's 30.
Traditionally, it is 30
That's
points.
really high. That's the same. That's the same as a machine gun.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter if he like throws a knife, shoots someone with a bullet, or punches them. It does the same amount.
However, using the shockwave of the earth magic behind it, you turn that into a total of an 80 point of damage hit, which seems to overcome some of those defenses and much as what happened previously to Crash Jackson's opponent, you have dislodged a tooth and potentially caused some severe jaw damage to Thaddeus Trinity. Let's go back to the jungle with Miss James.
Are we at the top of the round then, technically?
Well, we're gonna jump between people.
But I mean, that
The
was
top of
that
the
was
round.
that was our second for all the three of us, right?
I'm gonna get through these loot boxes before we do anything else.
Oh, I see.
I was going to use that as part of it.
Oh, what I want to hear this.
We got an ROC in 10 minutes. I figured can we use the rule of cool as part of them? We can use the loot box as part of it.
I suppose.
Well, I mean, here we are.
Is it time for? I guess we could do that now.
Unless you needed it somewhere else.
Well, maybe I didn't want things to end that quickly.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I mean, I can stay.
Let's get through these loot boxes real quick, and then we'll get back around to it.
I mean, Rule of
Save
Cool
it, man.
usually ends things, but when we've got, three separate people, like if you succeed on your Rule of Cool, then our fights aren't going to be over.
Right.
So that's
It's still bad news for two of us.
right.
We've had that not happen a lot, though. So
It's true.
Yeah, but usually we're all fighting once in a Rule of Cool, so whoever
nonetheless,
succeeds ends it.
we've had a lot of people pulling successes that lost the vote many times. So
True.
There is a loot box. This one is platinum that appears in front of you. Unfortunately, she does have a higher initiative score than you, so she is going to act before you have a chance to do
Sure as
anything with
shit
that loot
shouldn't
box.
steal my loot box. I'm just saying that right now.
Oh no, we're again. We're gonna go with the nice combo, freezing you and then bludgeoning you repeatedly once
Oh,
you've
is
been
she?
frozen.
Interesting. Interesting.
I have a double ones on my frost and ice generation power,
That'll hit.
so you are most definitely frozen solid.
Mm-hmm.
Dubba dumma.
You have no dodge bonus against the incoming 2 strikes,
Great.
which are a success and a success. Neither of them are critical successes, however. So they are only 60 point of damage hits.
Oh, I do not care. Okay. Great. Cool. Cool.
But you have a loot box in front of you. Tell us what's in your loot box.
I'm so glad you asked. In my loot box are chains made of hellfire.
Chains made of hellfire. Oh, Andy chains. Lovely,
Long distance fist
lovely.
Yeah. I fully intend. I'm gonna start swinging them.
Give me a fighting
Ghost
check
Rider.
for the flaming chains of hellfire.
What am I? Fighting check?
You're going to be rolling against fighting. It's still a hand-to-hand combat weapon.
Okay. Great. Excellent.
Give you a motorcycle.
I'm gonna use my buff and beat that by
The Patreon one?
the Patreon buff. Beat
Okay.
that by 3.
Beat that by 3. Unfortunately, her dodge bonus is much better than 3. Are you sure you want to use that Patreon buff? That won't be a success.
Okay, I guess I will not.
All right. She has an insane dodge bonus from that super
Right.
speed.
Right.
So
You didn't
that
take
is going to be a
anything out of
miss.
your box you
5
could
beat it
ride?
though?
5 still wouldn't be.
It didn't. It didn't.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you got flaming chains like Ghost Rider.
I could
So,
have
like-
also had a flaming motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, in the jungle, which totally makes sense. Oh, I could have pulled like a demon elephant out of there. That would have fit right
You could
in.
have done anything.
I know.
Crash, we're going to cut to you. A platinum loot box has appeared in front of you. What's in it?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna hit him with it.
I'll take a fighting check or a power use check if you're using it with your kinetic powers. So your choice.
I'm gonna throw it at him with my kinetic powers. That just-
All right, give me a power
I mean, it
use
just
check.
dropped from the sky, right?
Yeah, you're just
It's
going to
got a lot of kinetic energy behind it right now. I'm just gonna keep it going in that direction, but opposite and towards that man.
All right, give me a power usage check. Using a moment of clarity. Thank you, chat.
Roll a 5. I beat it by 13.
Beat it by them. That is a critical success. This is a rather decent-sized object, being a loot box.
And it's about the size of a coffin.
And it is borderline invulnerable, being that it is a loot box. So while it does not break open or damage, it physically impacts his body like a speeding locomotive or a jet airliner or something moving incredibly fast. And once again, knocks him off of his feet, overcoming his armor by a significant margin.
Second attack.
What else do you have for me?
Oh, I think, I mean, now that I've hit him and knocked him over, I'm going to drop it on him like a hammer, you know, just boom!
Did we
While he's
go
still
Looney Tunes on
spinning
this?
backwards through the air from the first impact.
Anvil.
Splitting. Good action, though.
Only I don't
Okay.
want him like the Rocky Desert Train.
That is
You
true.
did it wrong.
Beep, beep.
No. Just smashing him with the loot
All
box.
right, give me another power usage roll.
Not such a good dice this time. But that's okay, because I still beat it by 6.
Beat it by 6. This one also goes through and manages to hit him, though the impact is far less substantial than the first time around. I would like the three of you to roll a competitive initiative against yourselves for who has to declare what they're going to do in the rule of cool first.
Okay.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Bruno?
28.
Okay. Andy?
Oh,
Two
God.
11s.
God dang, man.
Yeah. 5.
5.
Oh, wait, no. Plus 6. 11.
11. Crash?
27.
Oh,
27.
Look at that.
Yeah, you beat me by
All right.
7, and I rolled pretty good.
I rolled double 11s.
Physics be damned if you could do anything right now. What would you pull off, Andy James? Tell us all.
okay. Well, physics be damned. My incredibly cool Hellfire chains will absolutely on this round wrap around her, and I will pull her in incredibly close, and I will put an arm around her. And I'm going to weaponize my empathy. And I'm going to shoot every emotion that I have felt since being separated from Abby. Every lonely feeling, every terrified feeling, every exultant feeling, all the way back to the joy of being reconnected with the other half of me, and see how she deals with that kind of onslaught.
Flaming chains attacking her. You're going full Ghost Rider there. Man, that is full Ghost Rider.
It is full Ghost Rider. That's hardcore.
Crash Jackson.
So I imagine that he's, getting out from under the box to get up and do some more ass whooping to me.
More than likely.
Maybe he's going to cast a spell. Maybe he's going to punch my face off. Maybe he's going to do laser vision. I don't know what he's got. As he starts stalking towards me, the loot box opens up.
Okay.
And out pops a doorway that opens up into darkness.
Oh.
He doesn't see it. I just go over and I punch him as hard as I can in the face. He trips over the loot box and falls back into the doorway.
And where does that doorway go?
There's an undisclosed cave with nothing in it that I've heard about. Oh, and I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Wow, the door to Nyx. These are some impressive rules of cool so far. Bruno, what do you got for us?
All right. So Bruno is now getting in touch with Lothar a little bit. Makes it a little bit touchy.
Uh-oh.
So Bruno's going to go into grappling mode since we're in close combat anyway, and this guy is harder to punch. Grapple him and then use Lothar's elemental magic. It's really hot out here. It's like in the desert.
Yes.
Super hot. We're going to channel all that
People are always
heat
complaining about the temperature.
into my opponent and boil the liquid in his body.
I hate that.
It's not a dry heat if he's boiling him from
What was
the
that again?
inside.
We're going to channel all of the heat around us
Yikes.
and channel it into his body and boil him from the inside out.
Oh, that's some riptide shit right there.
Well, there you guys have it. Tell us. Who you gonna pick? Start that poll.
Weaponized depression.
Hey, there's joy in there
One
too.
of his insides, and send him to visit Nyx.
Give the Morrigan my regards, you son of a bitch.
It's good. It's good.
Ooh, he's a close one.
Too close.
He's a close
So
one. I don't know who's
close.
winning just yet. No, Maddox and the Morgan are both gone. I'm sorry, Mark.
I was gonna say, I don't think Maddox is.
Yeah,
this
Maddox
right?
didn't, like, one of them had to be in the cave and one of them had to be dead.
Mm.
And the Morrigan won the cave, I think. Although I wouldn't say she got the winning end of that particular deal.
Not particularly.
Pool closing soon.
See, this is where we should have had a dance party because then we could dance while they vote.
Yeah.
Oh man, we really should have thought ahead on that.
Yep.
My fault.
We'll know for next season. It's a good way to do it.
And boy, what do we got? Man, we got a serious season coming up.
Man,
next
a
season.
pilot come go down the hole.
Oh, what do we have? We have the winner. Crash is the winner. Oh man,
Oh, so close. though.
very close.
65-3,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh man.
One.
Oh wow. Wow.
Very close, very close.
Oh, it looks like things vote came in late. What was one on the voting one? Would it have
That
changed the
was-
results?
No, that was also Crash.
That was also Crash?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if it had been, Andy weaponized, we all know from the rules passed down by Chris Odie that ties mean both are successful. So, all right. So we were going to do the failed rolls first.
I'm going to, I'm going to get there. I'm going to split my action this round since I got
You have rule of cool success.
a rule of cool success. I am going to split my action this round to lend my emotional strength to my bonded.
Are you using a team up?
I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
Using a team up to lend your emotional strength?
I'm lending Butch's emotional strength to Abby's to help Andy.
So basically, you're sending energy from Crash to Butch to Abby to Andy.
Yep.
This is like the best game of telephone ever.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right,
Might as
we're going to
well
have to
might
do
as
the
well use
rules
that
at
team
minus
up.
5.
Yeah.
So we're going to need that minus 5 elemental magic roll over there from you.
In that case, let's use the Meta Surge.
You can use that after the fact. Keep that in mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, it's the moment of clarity is like visible. Never mind, we don't have that. All right.
And you do also have, I believe there's an action here on the store, so if you don't like that roll, you can burn your buff for a re-roll if you really want it to work.
Yeah. Let's see about that. So what am I rolling?
You're rolling elemental magic to do
Elemental
this.
magic first, not fighting first.
Yeah, I'll into fighting first. Yeah, a good one. All these things are at minus 5, of course.
Right. So fighting minus 5. That beats it by 5.
And he has no dodge bonus, so that's going to use it.
So it's all about the elemental magic.
It's down to elemental magic, also a penalty of 5.
I'm going to use my 2 that I didn't use before. No, I did use it before.
No, you
I
did
used it
not.
before. I didn't use it before.
No, because it wasn't going to make a difference.
Right.
You're getting squirrely over here. What's going
No,
on?
I'm gonna use the
I
Meta
can help.
Surge.
Use
So
the
I
Meta
did- I
Surge.
did use it.
Okay, Meta Surge used.
But I'm using the Meta Surge because that means that I made it right on.
Success on elemental magic.
Haxor, Meta Surge point. Using my.
You just used the Meta Surge, so.
No. I'm using mine. I'm
Oh,
going to
using
use,
your
I'm
Meta
using my
Surge point.
waffle ability as Zeus to move people up and down the slider in the same way.
Oh.
I'm giving them my Meta Surges that I'm getting from my Haxor since I can't put them anywhere I want on the slider. I am giving him metaversal power to.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
It'll add +6 to it. Is what it comes down to.
So add 6 to.
Cool.
What's your success rate by now?
Well, 6 because the Meta
Succeed
Surge put
by
it
6.
onto 2. So we could give, or we could.
You actually underestimated that one because it's 4, 4, and 2 then. So
Oh,
the
shit.
bonus is 10.
Yeah.
So change your result by 10 over what you had.
So success by 10 then.
It is a success by 10, which
Okay,
is
it's fine.
Because it was
a
success.
critical success.
Cool.
The
If you stack the store, I'm
filled
using this.
scream
Sorry,
that
guys.
comes from him is it's beyond belief. Right? It is loud, it echoes, and it almost seems to shake the very ground. In fact, little rifts open up and canyons start to form, and his eyeballs literally pop inside of his skull from the boiling liquid.
Ooh.
And parts of it fly and splatter all of you. Steam rushing from his ears and from his mouth and from his nose, and the smell of burning, charred flesh. And he collapses in a heap in front of you.
I'm so glad I was not there for that.
Me too.
It probably smells like
He melts like an
barbecue.
Indiana
And
Jones Nazi. Yeah.
The smell is so bad.
And it's
Oh, I
hot.
don't know. Burning flesh
And
smells
it's
like
a dry heat.
pigs, like barbecue.
Once you've gotten after the initial layer, unfortunately, the first layer that gets all the hair and clothing in it, it doesn't smell so good.
That's fair.
Having
Trust
smelled
me.
a roasting pig that was not properly prepared, it's not
Okay,
worth
never
it.
mind. I take it all back.
Cooked people only smell like barbecue afterwards. When you're right there, when it goes off, not so much. First-hand experience, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Man, that was a weird Tuesday too, wasn't it?
There were a lot of weird Tuesdays.
And it was only Tuesday. Yo, we've only been in quarantine for 6 days. You could have waited till next week.
No, I couldn't.
Eat the rice first.
The only way to
people
kill the
last.
virus is with fire. You didn't know that? He's looking matter of factly like that's true. Fire will never do it.
Most effective social distancing, cook your roommates and eat them.
Once a virus is inside them, I'm not sure you should eat them after you cook them.
Ah, cooked. Good to go.
You know, people used to burn the lungs of tuberculosis patients and then mix the ashes in with wine and drink it,
That's
thinking that it would heal them.
Consuming
They would
the
also
consumption.
breathe
That's
in
what I would call that book.
the smoke from burning those.
Are you trying to
items.
avoid your rolls at -5?
Maybe.
That's what I thought.
Alright. Cool. My laugh is not awkward. I have a beautiful laugh. That's
Have I
rude.
burned everything in the store that I can? I have.
Okay. So I can use mimic to re-roll if I don't like this.
If you don't
That's
like the
it.
result, penalty of 5, and you're going to wrap her up in the chain, so I need a fighting roll followed by an empathy roll.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, you can add my soul score to whatever.
Yeah, when we get to the
When you do
empathy
your
part,
empathy part.
Okay.
it's going to be added to damage.
All right. Let's see. Excellent. So on fighting, I'm going to beat it by 4. And I don't have. Good lord. I don't have a clarity I can use. Okay.
Correct.
Cool.
And the empathy.
And on oh yeah. So on empathy, babies, I'm gonna beat that by 8 without any assistance. Oh, but I do have the disadvantage of 5, so I'm gonna beat that by 3.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my Patreon buff, which I could use, and I have a soul score.
And you also have 2 from chat hitting the fully filled store, Golden
Yep.
Waffle. So
You get that.
you could add a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could offset that penalty and still get a bonus of 1.
Well, I guess we're just gonna do that. aren't
Or you could use it to make the fighting roll a success and the empathy roll a success.
Oh.
Because the fighting roll is not going to be a success with a success by 4 or
Oh,
dodge
you're
is
right.
too
I
high.
am gonna use.
Yeah, do that other one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Okay.
make the fighting roll a success, and
All
both,
right.
both of them are gonna succeed. All right.
Okay. You managed to offset the penalties, wrapping her up in these flaming chains. It is burning flesh from the hellfire chains immediately, which as she cannot regenerate, that is going to be quite devastating.
Well, now I feel bad.
You immediately char and blacken and roast the skin, burn through the clothing, and are leaving perfect chain-like marks that are burning through the flesh and to the bone. And then you release all of that pent-up, the rage, the loss, the pain, the moment of waking up severed and meta end, all of the terrible, terrible things, and most importantly, the moment of watching Maddox die. And then on top of that, feeling all of the energy channeled from Butch and Abby through. And while this doesn't physically kill Teresa's body, she falls to the ground, limp, staring up at the sky like a vegetable.
Uh-oh.
body limp, drool coming out of the side of her mouth.
Oh, depression, sleep. I
So
know.
like right before he goes to that door, like, oh God, dude, empathy. Your sister or whatever just lost to a girl who doesn't know who she is.
He seems like he's about to say some kind of arrogant or snide remark as
And
you
you just got
impact
beat
him
by a kid.
and fly through the door. And for probably the first time in 1,000 years, a look of fear comes over his face, and the door slams shut.
Where are you going? I don't know either.
Oh.
And I shove the door in the box and close the box and wait for the box to disappear.
Throw away the
It's
key.
gone.
Damn.
A short time later, you have returned to the disk. It is still surrounded by all of these various metapilots. And so fate has decided. I give you your Masters of the Metaverse.
Fate decided 3-0. Just saying.
May they possess the wisdom, courage, and compassion to guide you all. The Metaverse has spoken.
Oh,
And then
we
Zen
got a
disappears.
Little, we got a little wink. We got a little wink.
Ladies and
there.
gentlemen, the elusive Rhodes. You know his job is basically just as an adjudicator.
An agitator?
Yeah, he adjudicates things. Adjudicator.
Adjudicator. Sorry, I thought you meant an agitator and an educator
He's
because
both.
he's all of those
He is
as well.
both.
And an adjudicator, all three.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It should be noted that they also gave Zenda Rhodes a lid box as well, but I'm not going to tell you what was in it.
No. No, I want to know.
If it's not the cure, Rhodes is the dumbest monk forever.
Seriously. It wasn't the cure, was it? 'Cause
Thanks
you
for
were
a
thinking about
spoiler.
somebody else.
I'm just saying.
Thanks for the
That's
spoiler.
the only thing he should pick. Like, oh yeah, beat that $10,000, that 10,000 years just by the 9,999 years to go.
Thanks for the spoiler.
I didn't mean to make it a spoiler. It was just a really good guess.
Metapilots are for you. It seems as though they're waiting for you to say something.
Oh.
Say something.
Take that, motherfucker.
So, 742 needs to clear the F out. Right? That's the rules? I don't know. Rhodes didn't tell me.
And make sure that you dry clean all of the curtains and shampoo the carpets. Your lease agreement is up.
No. Drop what you've got and leave.
Yeah, that's better.
Are there any other
We
statements?
claim the right of ownership of all property that they leave on our side of the metaverse, and with their gates down, that means any technology. Which should make us immune since they invaded us from any metaversal infractions we may have incurred in using said weaponry before. That way nothing like this ever happens again.
I'll take your word on it.
You can get that stuff in the right hands, right, Bruno?
What?
You mean left and right?
I mean, the ships, the guns, the gate pieces.
Maybe. Not totally sure what the status of any of the governments and my relationship with them is right
We can
at
get the
the
power.
moment.
We can get the power up and running eventually. It's going to take some time, but we've got a whole new way to get it there now. I mean, government guys know scientists and stuff, right?
Absolutely.
And if not, I can call my dad. Oh shit! I left him locked up. Okay.
Oh no.
Locked up?
I'm sorry.
Oh
what?
yeah, I had to keep him locked up. Otherwise, he would have tried to. He would have messed everything up. He can tell the future. You know that, right?
Right. How would he have... Why would he have messed...
Because he likes to help.
I'm still not exactly seeing where that's a bad thing.
He is a living tragedy. That's the word. He's a tragedy. He is cursed. No matter what good he tries to do, always turns out poorly for him. Had to lock him up to save him from himself, at least until this was over. He'll know what to do with that stuff, though, right?
For sure.
Great.
And so we have our Masters of the Metaverse. I hope you guys really enjoyed this season. We've got some more surprises in store for you next season. Now that we have the Masters of the Metaverse, they do have jobs and duties to fulfill.
Yeah.
So are we going home now? Do we have a way to get home from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always a door from Arena.
Okay, good. I'm gonna want to hear more about how this whole plan worked out. Yeah, I want a debriefing.
Oh yeah, that has to happen. I didn't mean to keep you in the dark about so much of it. It's just little pieces.
Just one question. Giant silver box dropped out of the sky.
No idea. I got one too.
Okay.
So
that made this job way easier.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's because we're prime or because of what Rhodes was talking about being something other than just regular pilots. Whatever it is.
We used to get them when it's a game, but it's not a game.
I heard about those. I've seen a couple pop out. They usually used to mean Tom.
They did.
But they weren't from Tom.
They were not from Tom.
He just made it look like they were from him. They were from all of it.
Metaverse.
Whatever's been watching us this whole time.
The letters.
The letters.
They show up. They watch out. That's great. No point in looking a gift horse in the mouth at that point, right?
Can we get another loot box with strawberry milkshakes in there?
Why don't we just go to a Joe's? There's one here and there's one at home.
Let's go to a Joe's.
That sounds great.
Thank you all for joining us for Masters of the Metaverse. That's been our show. That's been our season. Unfortunately, I cannot give you a return date for the full show, but we are going to be doing some fun things in this time slot in the meantime.
Yeah,
we're dealing with the
playing
localized
some
issues.
games. We'll be playing some games.
We'll play some games. We'll do some talk show bits. We're going to do some other fun stuff. We'll let you in on the secrets as soon as we've got things worked out. And as soon as we can get back up and running again, Masters of the Metaverse will return. We're not leaving you behind. I want you all to be careful, to be safe. Practice the good social distancing. Keep yourself indoors. Do everything you can mentally, emotionally, and if you can, and it's not dangerous or risky for anyone else, physically to help somebody. If you know someone who can't go and get their own groceries, get their groceries for them. If you know somebody who needs help financially and you can spare a dime or two, spare a dime or two. I mean, all we have is each other.
And that's what's going to get us through this.
Yeah.
Well, Blarlac says we need everyone else on camera to come say goodbye since
we're the last thing, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be back on every Monday. We'll be doing something metaverse related. We'll be doing something for you guys to keep in touch. It just won't be the show until we can have everybody back in the same room safely again.
But like 4 of us game together every week as long as this is going on anyway. So we'll have something for you.
Yeah, we'll do something for you. And Sean's not here to join us. He has already had to leave and get supplies so he can lock himself in for the coming shelter in place.
She can turn on herself. So.
Oh, there she is!
That is so cool! That is the coolest thing ever! I love that!
It's Leo!
I'm thinking that shallow depth of field. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, why don't we do that more often?
I don't know, but we should.
I've had it set up for a couple weeks.
What?
Because then she'd be in charge of her own cutaways and it would get messy.
Yeah, it is.
Or
it
it
is
is
hard.
hard.
It's
very hard.
Every episode playing a phone game, I could do it.
That's true. That's true.
You could.
You have the power.
But yeah, most importantly, guys, be safe, be careful out there, use your heads and use your hearts. Be there for each other.
And be nice to people who are working.
All we really have is each other out
yeah.
there.
Please
Yeah.
be nice to
Be
people
nice
who are
to
working.
It's not our
Working.
fault that we don't have things. Just
They're
be nice
literally
that we're risking
their
our lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, much like Andy James and Abby and Butch, practice a little empathy.
Yeah.
People could use it out there.
Yeah.
Just don't put it all into all your negative empathy into another
No,
person.
don't do that.
Do be careful about
And
that.
I'm going to put some pictures up later because I started playing The Sims. I've never played before. And I'm making all the metapilots, having them live together in a house with metapods.
So
It's
far,
going to be
just
great.
Rosie and Crash live together.
Aw.
But anyway, guys,
No
thank you
romantic,
again
no
so
romantic.
much. Thank you for contributing to the store. I look forward to seeing who won that waffle and what you want us to do a song about. There still is another one waiting, but it's for Jess Weaver, and until she joins us in the audience, I don't want to do it because, well, it's for her.
Wouldn't be right.
That just
I want screenshots of Thomas drowning in the pool.
Wow, that's absolutely horrifying.
I don't open tomorrow. We can totally get drunk and do this.
Oh, and for anyone who is worried about Thomas, he wasn't dead and still in arena with them when they returned. He was just taken to be used as evidence falsely by the pilots of 742. And I'll, of course, jump into Discord. I'll be able to answer some of your questions about things that happened in the background of the story. I'm sorry we had to cut this season an episode short, but
we could have like a debrief.
Events happen.
That could be like Crash
There we
could
go.
be explaining.
Anyway, I love all of you all. Please be safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. They travel through time and space and stuff. Troll them, re-roll them, throw them above. They fly through dimensions, this isn't a bluff. Heroes compelled, they have no choice. Bound by the winds of a secret voice. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse. Masters of the Metaverse, Masters of the Metaverse.